I need to go to sleep.
So anyway, so for those of you who weren't here last week, so like pretty much no one showed up. And we had two new players and they still wanted to play, so I made sort of like an off-plot thing that I was planning on using to introduce them to the group the following week, which would be this week. So they ended up running on a little adventure. They are currently on a hillside outside of a cave where they found some kobolds who tried to light a camp on fire and
Oh my
may or may
god.
not have eaten people.
Sounds like my type of cold.
There is a second trail on that you guys can follow. That will lead you to something or other. We haven't figured it out yet because they haven't taken it. That's where we left off last week. Foolproof was there. He's not now. And Zorak is there, and Whiff of Smoke is there. Also, we have another new player this week, which would be, I'm assuming that's pronounced Syrah.
Syra.
Syra, okay. Um, so we have Syra, who is a new player to this campaign, and so she will need to be introduced. And we gotta figure out where to put the rest of you guys. So,
The happening.
um, I mean, ideally, you probably would be at the end, because that's where characters don't get played are. Um, because I don't take control of you guys in you guys' place. This isn't a scripted show. Um, so anyhow, um, that's my suggestion. But yeah, let's discuss. Where do you guys want to start out? I mean, obviously we'll have them like where they were left, but there's
What I remember, we were like making this guy look at us like crazy with the ham. Like that's what I remember. Because
Starting my call.
yeah, we were starting a call within the town.
I think I'd just been introduced to the group, and was there shenanigans with a teacup? I seem to recall there were shenanigans with a teacup of some sort,
yes,
and a
shenanigans with a
cow.
teacup.
Yes, the cow that says ham.
Well, you're trying to train it to
Hey,
say ham. We haven't determined yet if it can be trained to speak.
do
So
not
wait, the whole
dare.
ham thing is you're starting a cult of ham?
Yes.
It's a
Yes,
long story. It's a
well,
real
they are.
long
I
story.
am amusedly observing.
It's a very long and stupid story, but at this point, we all just said fuck it and went with it. So,
So
welcome to Hamining.
Okay.
the short version of the story is that in the first session they started off the campaign at a masquerade ball. N here picked up a ham, decided that it was a weapon, and I allowed it to become a thing.
Okay.
Here's basically the whole entire point of this cult so far is for our good friend N to battle, I think, 100 or so?
Yeah.
A
No,
100
he
or so
has
combats?
30. He has to do 30
Oh, sorry.
combats with the ham
30,
before I give him
30
proficiency.
or yeah, 30 combat situations with the ham, and he will gain proficiency with it.
Okay.
And the best part is the whole entire group said bet.
All right.
And the ham is filled with a magical explosive power at the moment.
Yes, and very
Something to do with
soonly.
wild
Oh,
magic, I think.
oh,
And the
oh
best part is
yeah.
it also has a bonus to it because I enchanted it.
If we also
Yeah.
trigger a chlorine gas attack,
Oh yeah, no, that's also on N.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's also on.
But yeah, so yeah, do you guys remember last of what we were doing is I was with the new group because we needed some way for them to introduce themselves to us. Because Foolproof would have been the one to do it if he was here. Uh, I believe last I remember for the group though, they were still in the middle of convincing a whole entire population, sorry, town to convert into this, and they also have a very good majority of them because of the giant freaking explosion and then giant theatric show.
Well, there were two guards who are animists that they convinced the ham was sentient, and then they used shenanigans to enchant the ground outside of the inn where the explosion happened so that anybody walking by would hear whisperings from the ham.
And then transformed
Did
into
someone
all
use
the doors
prestidigitation?
being
Not
open.
prestidigitation, thaumaturgy on it? Or is this
Oh,
one
wait.
of those artificer effects?
See, I
No,
thought
it was
isn't it-
shenanigans.
So,
Shenanigans are a homebrew currency, basically players' way of interacting directly with the DM. They're tears of the god of mischief. When he commits pranks and things, he laughs so hard he cries, and those fall to the earth as shenanigans. You can find them in your games. I award them randomly. By the way, everybody roll a d20, and
Shit.
Like a flat D20.
yeah,
Yeah.
just a d20.
6. So I don't find any.
12.
14.
But yeah, if you need an easier understanding of what shenanigans are, they're basically translating to DM bullshit.
What?
Yeah. So
You said we
if
get a certain amount of shenanigans per session, right?
No, that's
I
not
think.
what I
no,
said.
Oh.
you get a
Oh.
certain amount from the start, and then you could find them throughout sessions.
Oh, you said from the start?
You get a certain amount. I think like what 2 or 3.
Yeah, 2.
Yeah. So
Artris, I need a d20, please.
yeah. Do I need to use the website?
you can use the website or you can
It's
roll in
still.
Discord.
Yeah, you can use the website, you can roll in Discord.
Okay.
There's 2 different bots you can roll with.
They both suck.
But they get the job done.
I
just-
don't know. I kind of like Avery.
For you.
It's just probability.
Which
I call
channel was
bullshit
the
on
bullshit?
that.
Hey, they
Those are
were rolling terribly until they didn't need any dice at all last night. It was kind of funny, actually. And then they didn't even need dice, and they got like crits on like support rolls, and ended up with a 30 for.
That was me.
Way too proud for that. You sounded
Anyway,
way too proud.
the number was 12 this time. So, with a smoke, you can add a common card to your inventory.
Yay!
Yeah. Anyway, that's where we were last time. But yeah, you
I
guys,
rolled a 12.
you rolled a 12. Okay. You can also add a common
Yeah.
card to your inventory.
What card?
A common card. You can just add a item to your inventory. You can add custom items, give them a name and whatever, and you just add an item that says that it's a custom card. You guys' weather for the day.
You do weather too.
Yeah. We do weather. I have a full like homebrew calendar. It has meteorological events, everything. Everything. Anyway, it's today. That is a Tinkin. It's the 24th of Safet. So technically it's the next day from where you guys left off, which would have been the 23rd of Safet. And then it is a waxing half moon. The high is 62 degrees Fahrenheit, 48 Fahrenheit for the low. There is 0 wind. But today has a magical weather effect, which are called freeze patches. So on an otherwise calm day, when fine weather is mixed with dangerous magical cold, freeze patches can be created. These areas of intense cold, usually negative 25 Fahrenheit or lower, are small but dangerous. Unprotected animals caught in these areas can quickly be afflicted by frostbite, especially in otherwise warm weather when there would be sweating and plants and water can freeze solid. The freeze patch is typically only a few dozen feet in size and invisible, detectable only through the damage they do. So watch out for those.
Watch out for freeze patches.
And it's around midday at the moment.
I totally forgot that we're supposed to go to another town. And this was like in between that.
Yeah.
I know. That's why when you guys all of a sudden, let's stay here and start making a cult, I was like, shit, well, we gotta leave in the next like the next day or two.
Yeah.
This
But
was
me
legit
and
just a stop in between.
N got this, right, buddy? Buddy, old pal.
Damn, that's all I need.
I got the stealth nugget. We
Imagine
got
what
this.
happens if I decide to let the energy out of the ham. I'm suspecting group of people.
Oh
Oh
yeah, I
my
forgot.
god, don't be a murderer.
Hey yo, and I forgot. You took a bite out of the ham, right? Like there's some chunks of it missing right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Um. So so if I'm just to remember everything that we're trying to set up right now, I am currently with Wisp and Artress, and Izumi is in the inn, correct? Where everyone else is.
Izumi hasn't been introduced yet. Artris, Sano, N, and Foolproof, if he decides to show up today, um, are somewhere else. They have to figure out how to join with you guys. Izumi has to figure out how to introduce her character and bring it in. You guys are standing on a hillside still trying to figure out if you want to follow the second trail like you were told to, or if you just want to fuck off and go back to town.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to gather who's of who right now and where they may be.
Yeah, out of the
'Cause-
group from last week, you're only with the smoke. Because
oh,
the other two that were there are not here right now.
magically disappeared.
Yep, magically disappeared.
Gonna spin around. Hey, Wiz, did you know where the other two went? Weren't they following us?
What am I, the gatekeeper?
Also, Sana, that is a fantastic status. I approve.
Thank you.
Yes, uh, I don't know. I thought you had better vision than me, but if we lost those two, you didn't see it. I'm assuming we might
I
be
did
fucked.
not.
Yeah, we might be fucked here then.
It's not the first time people magically appeared and then disappeared.
Yeah, I know, but the thing is, what are the highly chances of it also being a creature or maybe the thing that where we might be chasing after that said fuck it, let's now turn back around and finish off our pursuers. Like
It's a possibility,
because
but if
we
they're
know
not
what we.
strong enough to take care of themselves, then that's their problem.
You know what? Just to be safe, I think I'm gonna head back to town and get my group.
All right. Well, if anyone's eaten, I'm not cleaning that up.
If anyone's eating, they should be a pile of shit afterwards.
Well, it varies. It depends on what ate them. They could still be alive in there.
I sent you a DM.
I
That'd be
see.
interesting. But yeah, I think I'm gonna head back to town, grab my group, and then come back. Maybe come back, or if not, we'll just move on. Cause I don't know. I'm still questioning why we were following this in the first place. Wasn't really our problem.
I mean, I saw someone randomly running past me. It just seemed like a proper thing to do, you know? Just knock him out and
No,
ask him what happened.
well, like I said, I believe the guy's still in the town too, so we gotta go back over there anyway. So you wanna follow along
Oh,
with me?
right. He should be awake by now.
Yeah. So you wanna follow me? We'll grab him on the way, maybe interrogate him, and then get my crew, get my group, see if they want to tag along. If not, I want to get my stuff, and then maybe we'll do this. If not, then I'm just gonna make my way on to the next town.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he just, went to the cops.
Hey, like I said, I don't really know. Like I said, I technically just met y'all today, so we
Look, if
technically
he
know
went to
the.
the cops, if you want to interrogate him, we can, but you're taking the fall for this. You seem a
Hey,
bit more sturdy than me. You can buy
as
him off with magic
as
weapons.
as I'm looking up at you,
I mean, you're a merchant. Merchants are punchable, right?
you're gonna punch your merchant.
I'm not going to. The cops might, but I won't.
So you're telling me the people who supplied them their their tools and abilities to do their job are going to attack the ones they're going to attack their suppliers, yeah, that's a good way for business.
That's why I'm saying you're gonna stand in front of me because they might be afraid of losing their access to supply and demand through you. I'm someone they don't know that just kind of knocked out one of their villagers, for his safety.
Just to let you know, I'm just a passing merchant. They don't really know me either.
Well, you have money and you have items, so therefore, if they're gonna get one of us, I'd rather them get you first. So maybe I can get something cool out of it.
All right then. Well, if you want to tag along, you're more than welcome to tag along. But at some point, I'm going to have you sign some sort of contract just in case if you're going to keep tagging along and using my, well, merchant's or my group's name. But
I mean,
that's for the
it
future.
depends on the deal. It depends on the contract and the terms and conditions, but I'm open to it.
They're fair. Anyway, like I said,
That's what they all say.
but aren't they always fair for at least the one who needs it? Why else would they sign it?
Yes.
Anyway, let's go. So with that, I would like for Wisp a smoke or whiff of smoke and Zorak to head back to town with the possibility of running into anyone or not. The question is, do we run into anyone?
On the way there, it's possible.
Yeah, do we run into Urtrus or do we run into Izumi or technically
Archers,
Kyra?
Archers should be with the rest of the group. He's been playing with you guys.
Oh yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
no, sorry, yeah, Archer's with the group, sorry. So either we run into Izumi or run into the group while they're outside still screaming at the guards and proclaiming that the ham is God.
Well, if
Or
this is like the next day, I'm pretty sure we're not gonna still be there.
yeah, this is the next day from where you guys left off with that.
So we
Oh,
in
okay then.
the inn. Like,
Okay then, so does it make it easier? The guys just will have Izumi in the inn and we just appear.
Um, so Izumi and I have a plan. So you guys
Okay.
just keep going as you would if Izumi wasn't here for now.
Okay, works for me. Hopefully,
Hooray!
I just hope that it goes the way you hope it goes, Izumi, because it might not.
Well,
All
I
right.
have a backup plan. It's okay.
Yeah. So with that, Sano and Archers, are you guys on the ground floor or in the room? Where y'all at?
I'm checking up on my kids.
Okay.
Okay, so first, let me double check. You guys are abandoning the kobold thing.
Not necessarily abandoning, possibly. We're seeing if we get what's the word? Reinforcements. That's it.
I'm just asking so I know if I'm gonna close the PDF or not.
We may or may not. We'll see in a second.
Okay.
Yeah, I killed them all, and I'm just gonna let the elf and the people go their merry way.
Yeah.
In my defense, they should have been fireproof.
Okay. Anyway, I was just double checking. Continue.
I'd probably just be out in the, I guess, general space. Probably sitting on a chair,
It's
crisscross
around
applesauce.
lunchtime if you want extra context. It's like
Okay,
midday.
okay. So I'm just waking up. Perfect. Yeah, I'll just kind of like crisscross applesauce on a chair, and I'll just like yawn. What?
Wolf hanging on the wall.
Oh, I'm hungry. Andy, can
Oh,
I have a bite of the ham?
You want to blow up?
Do I want to blow up with that explosive flavor?
You are dying.
Okay, can you remove
I
that?
am the one. I am the one who eats the ham. Okay,
That's
I'll
what
remove
DJ
it for like
called.
5 seconds, but like you gotta take a quick bite, or else we actually might die. I got really lucky last time.
Wait. I'm pretty sure I can just order food here.
Looks at the camera. They have DoorDash here?
Yes,
What?
Donkey
What do
Dash.
you mean? They have people bring food on donkeys? When,
I,
when,
I,
when was that a
you,
thing? You're lying to me.
you sound crazy. Okay, listen. I'm just asking. Are you hungry?
Yes. I would love
Okay.
food because the only thing I've been eating, and I wiggle the ham in your face, is currently explosive.
I kind of just like look at you with disgust. I'm just like, okay, what do you want?
Food. Consume to my belly.
So when you like wave the ham at me, this is exactly I picture myself. Like I'm just disgusted with you. The grease touching my face, and I would just go up to like, I guess the tavern keep or whoever's in charge here and see if I can order food.
Yeah, sure. I guess, buddy. What do you want?
What do you have?
Well, we got this stuff, and he hands you like a paper menu.
Mm.
On it,
I don't think this is like edible, sir.
he kind of like smacks his hand on it and like pins it to the like countertop, and he points at it and he says, "You gotta read it." And on it, it has several sections for like appetizers, soups and salads, entrees, like a
Well, what do
regular
you
menu.
suggest, good sir? What do you suggest on the menu?
How hungry are ya?
I gotta feed me, uh, some other people, so I'm pretty hungry.
All right, we got soup, or we got fish. What do you want?
What kind of soup?
Chicken,
Is it like whole chicken, pieces of chicken? How
chunks
we
of
doing
chicken.
this? Well, I care about how like my chicken's prepared.
It's chunks of chicken.
Chunks. Okay, okay. I think they would like that. Yeah, okay. I guess that'll be fun. Just some soup
All right.
for
How much
I
soup?
guess like 6 people, I believe. Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly the awkward talk we're
Don't worry, when a cat blinks its eyes slowly at you, it means it's smiling. Well,
Anyway.
it's the same with people, right?
Yeah, 6 orders of your chicken soup.
All right, comes with bread. Do you want garlic on that or no?
What kind of bread?
Garlic or no?
Mm, I have to ask. Can I just have it on the side?
You could do half and half.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
All right, it's easier for the kitchen. I'll get this in
Okay,
for you. Give me 20 minutes.
20 minutes? Okay. I'll just like stand there and not move and like stare at him as he's cooking.
While you're waiting, I need a perception check.
Got this. Perception. Let's see.
From everyone?
Well, only the people that are downstairs.
I got a 13. Kind of good.
I think that's like exactly what we decided. So
Oh God, am I gonna be the awkward? Oh, okay.
yeah, so anyway, so since you got a 13 on your perception check, you happen to notice there's a tiny little bird person standing nearby you.
I just look at the bird person very slowly.
Please tell me it's Fee.
Um, uh, I don't know how to start conversation here, but uh, um,
I rolled an
how,
8.
how's the weather down there? Pretty sure I'm like a little taller than you.
Oh yeah, no, she's tiny. She's like tiny a bird.
Oh, yeah,
Small,
you small burb, small
small
burb.
bird, small bird.
Okay. Yeah, I get. I'll be like, would you like some chicken too?
Excuse me?
Are
That's
you,
rude to ask me.
are you hungry? Hey, how is that rude? I thought that was like a common nice thing to ask if someone was hungry.
They're a bird.
You see,
And you ask them if they want to eat a bird.
Well, okay, so this is important context. Sano travels with a harpy, and the harpy eats meat. So Sano's also not that bright.
Well,
He
okay.
would not put
I
two
mean,
and two
owls
together.
do eat meat too.
I
However,
just saw the tiny bird standing.
Other birds, I think.
I just assumed the tiny bird was waiting in line for food or something, so I just said, "Would you like food?"
tiny bird just kind of walks up to you and takes out a notepad and it's like, so Ham, what's with that?
I look at that. I look at that notepad. Like my eyes kind of just slowly squint, and I look at you in the face. Why do you want to know about the mighty ham?
Because I've seen anyone carry and fight with Ham before.
1 second. Oh, Anne, please come out here. Are you the man?
I'm gonna roll a perception.
Actually
if
walking
I
away
hear
from
him.
the mic.
It's
Please.
disadvantage because it's hearing based, but oh well.
Yeah, you better listen to my voice, you dumb shit.
Got a 23, so obviously I hear him.
Bird needs your
Walk out the
assistance.
room, cradling the ham in my left arm and cradling the younger child that I have in my right. And I'm gonna just come out looking like a mother covered in water just to do it. I wasn't even doing anything.
Perfect. I'll look at the
What do
small
you
bird.
need?
Okay, so this is N, and he is the holder of the magical ham, supposedly. As you see, it's the person right there, and he points to the child. That's the magical ham.
No. Sano, you're getting your left and right wrong again.
Oh, wait, my bad. That's the magical ham, as you, like, twist his hands, like, crisscross. So, yeah, he, like, I don't know, he's cool with it, I guess. It's magical, something like that.
Well, the
She's
hand
like-
told us that we need to be worthy.
Oh,
You see, like she's like takes down some toast and she's like, and what makes the ham magical?
It came out of the sky and blew up.
Yeah, we just saw magical things from this ham. Undescribable things. Horrid things.
I mess with the absorb elements that's placed on the ham to make it surge.
Is Fee nearby?
She's
I'd
probably in
assume.
the room with the other kid.
So she's upstairs?
Yeah, I'd say
You
so.
have kids.
I
Yeah.
have two of them, and I don't even know. I just adopted them. I took them with me, and now
He's
they're
a
mine.
kid. He's a kid himself, so I don't understand why he's adopting kids.
Hey. So what?
I don't know, man.
Ash Ketchum did it for like 40 years.
Yeah, he was only 10 years old, and after like 40 years, he was still 10.
No. I did the math wrong. Ash, Pokemon came out in '96, so we're all the same
95.
age as Ash. 95, so Ash is 27. He's a year older than me.
He was 10 and 95.
Well, there you go.
Holy.
Now you know that the ham is magical.
So 10 plus
Because
20.
it
Oh
came
my
out
god,
of
he's
the
an old
sky
man.
and exploded.
Yeah, something like that. And then everyone's been hearing weird things around town lately. Every time they like open a door.
Right.
A specific door.
No. I said shenanigans for all the doors in the town.
I don't
remember
remember
that.
agreeing to this because
I remember that. I said I'll use all three of my shenanigans to make it the whole. Every time they open any door in that town, it was gonna say ham.
Okay,
In a
I don't
very
remember
raspy
agreeing to
voice.
this, but alright. I
No, I
remember it only being
swear.
the tavern door.
No, it was.
I don't think
it
she
was
agreed.
No, Lyric, sadly, it was because originally N had said I want to make it into space, and then Sano said, "What if I made it to the doors?" And he was like, "Okay, how many for all the doors?" And I believe you said like a really large amount, and or Sano went, "Yeah, I have those," and he used up I think all of them.
Yeah, I have no more
Oh,
shenanigans on my
he
shit.
used up all his shenanigans to make every door in that whole entire town, whenever it's opened or closed, to whisper out ham.
Oh, I wasn't gonna retcon it. I just said I don't remember.
Yeah. Just letting you know, yeah, it was a Vine thing that you allowed him to do.
But to be fair, that was what, almost a month ago?
That was
Mm.
like 2 weeks
I
ago.
don't know.
Yeah, a month is only 4 weeks. So
It
almost
was
a
like.
month.
What's going on, Kitty? You trying to play D&D too? You're all up in the
So
screen.
you mean half a month?
Anyway.
So I guess now it's just one particular door.
No, I wasn't gonna retcon it. I was just saying I don't remember.
Oh. Well, yes. Enjoy your
And-
town at Hampstead. This is the beautiful town that's gonna be possessed by religion and horrible things.
Horrible things. Okay. She's like, and
Lots of beef.
Also,
what kind of
it's
magical
worth
properties
noting
does this ham display?
this is
Magical properties.
Explosiveness, and it speaks to people.
Yeah, it does speak to people.
so this is kind of meta information, but Azumi would probably know this. The people in this area are animists. That's their religion. And so they don't necessarily believe in a god or a lack of a god, but they believe that everything is connected by this like central energy kind of, and that everything is alive in its own way. So even
Okay.
dirt is alive. So the fact that this ham can talk means that it was chosen for some divine purpose as far as they're concerned.
Oh yeah, we're like we're really
You're like
we're
5
real-
feet.
yeah. You're like an inch taller than me or two.
Wait till you
Literally
meet
an
their
inch or
dad.
two.
It's even our dad.
Artemis is also like 4 foot or
Yeah, short
something.
squad.
He's a halfling. Oh,
Every-
shots!
Yes, we can break kneecaps. I love it. But yeah, yeah, those are the magical properties, young bird.
Terrors.
Okay. Well, okay. Young bird.
Well, I didn't catch your name. I'm sorry.
Syra. Dr. Syra, but you could just call me Syra.
Wait, you're a doctor?
Your doctor?
Not a medical doctor.
Oh, wait, what kind of doctor?
I like to study old ruins.
Oh, you're so boring.
A doctor of
Well,
archaeology.
that's kind of stink.
I didn't know
Yeah.
if you guys would know the word archaeology.
Oh,
That's true. I'm not sure my character would know that word.
can I roll like intelligence?
What's your
I can't even say I
score
don't know
looking
that
like?
word.
I think it's roll a knowledge check or something.
Yeah. What would I even roll?
Called roll for a brain.
Roll for brain, roll for history.
Yeah, roll for history probably.
Let's see. I got a 6.
I don't know why you're rolling.
You don't know that
Lyric-
word.
I don't know why
I
you're
don't-
rolling. Lyric didn't tell you to do shit.
I don't know. I just assumed that I would remember a word or not.
You look at her such a
I thought you've heard the
puzzled
word.
look.
Oh, I don't know. I just agreed with N because like kind of agree with everything.
Yeah, I was locked in a tower and I studied, so I at least know that word.
Yeah, I was in something like that. As our backstory slowly intertwine. Oh my god, you're too. Yeah, she's tiny. We must protect the bird.
Can I pick up the bird? I would like to pick up the bird. I want to pick up the bird and set it on my shoulder next to the ham and my child and just walk around like it's normal.
Can you pick it up like that?
You need
With
to-
I want to
the
pick it up
You need
just
to
like that.
ask the bird if you can pick up
I'm
the
gonna-
bird.
I'm picking up the bird. I'm picking up the bird without consent.
Sorry for
Well, it's
background
your
noise
fault
just
if
now.
you get scratched.
No worries.
That's
Uh,
okay.
Sorry for background noise just now. Doggo is doing a heckin' dream.
Oh,
No,
Oh,
my
that's flipping
God.
dog's just
adorable.
being a dog. That's adorable.
that
You
does
guys
I'm
are
a
horrible. Just
my
I
dog
want to
schemes.
pick up the bird and put it on my shoulder. You know what? Fuck it. I'm picking up the bird.
I
What?
go on.
I
What
would
I
did
go
like
on
to pop
N's
him
back.
on the head for picking up without asking.
Hey, N's wise, but he's not smart. If he wants to do something, he's gonna do it.
I'm pretty sure this is a wisdom
He's
thing.
smart.
It's wise to know that the bird is sapient and
Oh
does not
no.
want to be picked
You
up.
guys
Well,
understand? N is street
it's
smart,
neither
not
because the
book
bird
smart.
can talk. Just ask her.
Yeah. Can we pick you up?
Oh,
But you can
Why
work
not?
for us.
But
Yeah,
shorter. But
you can
shorter.
You can get all your information about like the ruins of the ham.
there's ruins where you got this ham?
Well, that's what it said in the journey and what the ham told us about.
Technically, yes.
Technically,
Sam
yes.
told us a lot.
Yeah, this ham like showed us the way. It even teleported us like away from each other.
That
It
was
was crazy.
actually really weird.
Yeah, I don't know about that
I
one.
met
Could
some
that be a
weird guy named
deception
like
check?
Quantum, and
Or did
this
that
weirdo
actually
was
happen?
playing with the kids, all dressed up as a kid, but he wasn't a kid.
All I remember
You
was that we were at a party and we ended up far away from each other, man. I'm tired.
Here,
so
let me
Archers,
see.
you can do a deception check for that, but the thing is, Sano fully believes it.
That's true, I guess. So, strictly speaking.
Larry, would you like me to help to step in now and start pushing the storyline?
Right, I suppose I should clarify. The reason I'm downstairs is I was walking on my way out to try and find some what's the term, some scrap wood to keep carving. Um, but I noticed this conversation going on. I've stopped to stare in amazement.
At Tiny Bird.
At the time, a person trying to pick up the tiny bird.
Like,
As a
well, yeah.
well,
Well, yeah.
so
There is ruins.
well, Dr. Syra, I think this person genuinely believes that that's what's happened. And strange things have been happening since that ham rolled into town a day or so ago. Um, I'm not entirely convinced it's not up to no good, but there is something about that ham.
Oh, I wish Atlas was here to talk as the ham.
Oh my god, I wish he was here for that.
Honestly!
But anyway, yes, we gotta wait for the. Well, I ordered a bunch of food for everybody. It'll be coming out as soon as it's ready, like 20 minutes, not even, maybe a little less. Have you seen Dad anywhere, En?
He's finally called
Sometimes
me
it's
dad!
really hard
He finally
to keep
called me
track of him.
dad!
I think he's smaller than my kids, which is saying a lot considering,
Larry,
the man
I'm
raised
gonna,
us.
I'm gonna have to go to your stream later and clip that. He finally
I
called me
felt like the
dad!
pure happiness in your voice when you heard that, you monster.
Well,
You
I'm
you
not gonna
didn't
lie
clip
to
the
you.
last thing you said you were gonna clip, so set a reminder this time.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Sano forgot his name. So he just remembered that he called him that.
I'm just happy he called me dad.
Oh.
So yeah, at that point, I guess me and Wisp would finally walk in. So
Yes.
yeah, as I was saying, should we really have burnt them all? Like we could have kept at least one alive, maybe I don't know, pet, a sniffer, something. I don't know.
Leave no prisoners.
No, I understand that, but it's like we're not having a prisoner, we're having a slave.
And Whiff just looks at you like,
Sorry,
what do
wrong
you
word.
know, slave?
Free workers.
Arthur turns around and gives you the dirtiest look imaginable.
I look at the group.
There'll be no
Hey,
slaves in
what the
any
hell happened
town
here?
that I'm in.
Oh. Hey, En. Question. Do you have any matches or anything like that?
Oh, just to let you guys know, if you guys need to know what Zarok does look like again, I will post it in chat. But yes,
Oh
that
my
is Zarok.
god, the Among Us. Or
Well,
any
I
type
don't
of
have a
handling.
match, but I think I can light something. I mean,
Okay, can you light me like a torch?
I have a torch.
I'll look over. Hey, son!
okay,
I'll toss my centaur towards you.
I would take the torch, and then with
Give you one
DM's
of mine.
permission, can I cast Green Flame Blade on the torch and leave it lit?
Oh, so that it's green flame.
Yeah.
Under
Oh,
normal
no.
circumstances, that
Ken,
wouldn't be
do
how
that.
that works,
No,
but I'll allow it.
do that on my centaur. Do that on my centaur.
Wait, you have a centaur?
I would have to grab your
Yeah,
centaur and
I
wave
have-
him around like a weapon.
You have to understand, my centaur is right now powered by a little gem that whatever it touches, it technically has, or my little centaur has a lay on hands or burn on hand thing, cantrip on
adorable.
it. Let's see, hold on, let me
Wait,
check
you've
that
got a
out.
tiny centaur. That's your character's
Burning,
tiny centaur.
burning hand touch. Yeah, burning hands. As
He does-
I'm an artificer, my good sir. I have tinkered a little thing. Oh, sorry, I'm an artificer that's also a rock gnome. So I have an ability to tinker with things. I tinkered and created a little centaur that has a basically, like I said, burning hands gem.
Oh.
So I have basically a little
That makes-
flashlight and a little torch at all times.
and lighting the torch. Oh. Well, we have
Tiny burp artificer.
wait,
You're also an artificer.
wait. There's new people, and
What?
we must introduce ourselves and everybody. Where's your other kid?
She's still in the room with the harpy. This one was being cute, so I took it out.
It?
Yeah, I still haven't come up with names for them, and they gave me names, but
Just call him Jack and
Handbook
Jill.
have been a little too much.
Bonnie and
No, I
Clyde.
want their names to mean something. They'll earn their name in battle,
Jekyll
Okay.
and
like
Hyde.
real warriors.
So useless
I
one and
approve
useless
this
two.
upbringing.
No, this one's more like Conjurer, mini Conjurer, and the other one I don't remember what magic we taught that one.
Remember, I'm going to be
Can I roll a
teaching
hit?
one of your children magic sooner or later.
You know what? Hold on. Let me reference my notes for this. My children know magic. I just don't remember.
Oh,
I
look
know I
at
taught
you,
one of them how to
D&D
heal
player.
people. I know
Look
I
at-
taught one of them how to heal.
Look at you, D&D player.
I didn't
Yeah,
spend like 1,200 on this phone for nothing. I'm gonna take notes with that goddamn.
There we go.
Yeah, no, it makes sense, man. He gives you a
And
stylus.
then, I'm sorry. With hears you say you want your children to earn their names in battle, and he just pats you on the back like that's a good father.
Thank you, I know.
Girl.
If they earn their names in battle, then
goes,
what do you call them
"Well,
until they're
they-
old enough to fight?
Hey,
You
Whatever
and
they
you
want to be
too.
called. If he wants to be called like Boogadabop, I'll call him Boogadabop. If he wants to be called Harry, I'll call him Harry.
We're just not calling him Chris, right?
No, that's a horrible name.
Yeah,
Now
for
look
real.
at the child. You don't like that name either, right? Chris is a horrible name.
Yeah. You don't like that.
And
You
and
you're
then
gonna
there's just
one day we're gonna have some guy here that's like, but my name is Chris.
my name is Chris.
I was gonna say.
I meant
I know
Chris
so
is-
many people named Chris.
like Chris
Christines,
within this
Christophs.
universe.
Christophers, just so many of them.
Chris in the real world is okay, but as long as your D&D character's name isn't Chris.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to come on like an arrow.
I called you.
I just want to get my food, man. I'm just trying to feed these damn children. Wait, why'd you light the torch inside? You're supposed to do it outside.
Oh, well, I'll just bring it outside with me while it's still burning. It's a torch. What's it gonna do? Burn the place down? No.
Oh no.
I mean, I have magma. If that helps.
Exactly that. That
Okay,
gift
so
is exactly
just
what
'cause
I
you said
imagined.
that- Just because you said that, and I'm gonna rip up my mythic card.
You're gonna rip
no.
your mythic card?
Oh,
Oh, no.
oh no.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
What a beautiful way to start our session. Let it be done.
It must be done, Jay. It must be done.
But you know what? Fine.
Hey, I did it on my first session.
I would say
No, no, no.
everyone's
Well,
first session
thing
has
is,
started
no.
with the card now.
I can say this. This is the official initiation for the 3 new players.
The card.
The official
We got carded, you're
initiation.
getting carded.
Lyric, I would like to rip up my mythic card.
Okay.
He blows up.
The user and allies are all randomly teleported 1d6 miles separately in
Let's
differing
go!
directions.
6 miles where?
In random differing directions.
Oh. Oh.
6
okay.
or 36.
Is it safe to say that I got my kids? I cannot leave my kids.
Do we all need to roll 1d6?
Remember, we're all split up separately randomly. So the thing is, the kids may be with you, they may not be with you. They're all teleported separately too.
Oh.
Everyone's teleported separately.
1.
Oh,
Two,
okay, that's not bad. 6
6.
miles is not bad.
We're all
How
6 miles away.
Wait, does that include the kids as well,
2
or does that
miles.
just include our
There's a
party?
lot of 6s in this.
That includes everyone in the vicinity. I'll roll a d20 because we
Oh
didn't
my god.
do this
My
last
kids. I
time.
just lost my kids. Oh shit.
I rolled a 4.
Hey, all I gotta say is, welcome to the group, baby.
Welcome to the group.
All I'm imagining is like the air just starts to shimmer and vibrate, and everyone is just shunted the fuck
Hell yeah!
back.
No, here's the best part. You guys all just witnesses right now. We all talking. You see them talking. You see N light the torch, and as he lights the torch, I just look at him, pull out the card, and just rip it right in front of him. And at
So
that
I don't think
point,
I don't think you're supposed to physically have the cards.
Can I
Yeah,
take
yeah.
a mental note of the card? If I see the card, can I take a mental note?
no, it's not actual thing.
I would like
It's
to
not a
remember
physical thing.
what's doing this so I can kill it the next time I see it.
kills God.
Well,
I'm for
so
it. I'm
see,
for it because my character's background is a marine, so I'm all for killing that.
out of the players here, there's only 3 of you that would even know that the cards could possibly do that because you've already experienced it once,
I did
and
the first time.
this is now the
I was
second
there,
time that
Ed
you've
was
had
there,
this
so
happen.
was-
Physical items in the setting.
Yes, these are physical items in the setting.
So I got a 1. Why did I get a 1?
I got 2.
Bizarre.
I'm happy with the 2.
So basically, these cards are kind of like shenanigans that have already been redeemed, if you want to think of them that way. And instead of the effect of the shenanigans happening, it was put into a card, basically. And these cards can be found all over the place. Also,
If you'd like to know what those cards do, there are actual channels above us that have them.
yes, they're in the Streamloots cards. So I do stream these games, and I am a Twitch affiliate. So there are card packs that can be bought by someone who's watching the stream, and those card packs can be redeemed immediately if they are purchased. And regardless of what it says or what the rarity of it is, um, it will be redeemed if it is redeemed on stream. However, you guys, I'm not expecting you guys to do that. So you guys can find them out in the world in the game. And whenever you do, you only know the rarity of it. You don't know what it does. So whenever you decide to tear it, which is the only way to redeem the magic that's in that card,
Like you
um,
just witnessed me do.
we roll for it out of the available cards that I will be eventually expanding sometime, hopefully very soon.
I approve.
Okay, so some of us are 6 miles away. Actually, most of us are like 6 miles away. Uh, two.
All I know is that I'm
Yeah.
about to die.
So everybody that was in a 14-foot radius is now teleported away 6 miles. So
it's just 6 miles each.
yeah, it's just 6
Okay.
miles each in random differing directions.
I got a 1. Oh,
Well,
no.
I'm a burb, so I'm just gonna fly back.
I'm just happy I went.
And I'm 2 miles away, so like I'm just gonna
Everyone
Yeah,
is
I'm
6
just-
miles away.
I'm just
Oh,
gonna run.
oh, you made everyone 6. Okay, you made everyone 6.
Everyone's
Just for
6, but I guess
simplicity this
the
time.
1D, yeah, the 1d6 is the direction, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That the 1. Damn, I'm far away than everyone.
So I'm
Some of us
going in
ended up
direction
in the same
4.
location then.
Yeah.
And
What?
this is your job.
Yeah, Wiss smokes with me. That's fun.
I have a ham.
I'm the only one by myself. I'm a die out here.
I dare someone to run up on me while I'm out here. I'll blow everyone up. My kid can take the ham and run.
At least the kid might be going with you. At least.
Yeah. Might. That's our key. That's our keyword.
Might.
So I guess we're just gonna have to find our way back.
Or just continue our adventure.
Well, we can't because we're all in different places. We need to reunite to continue our adventure.
We don't have to.
The thing is that
We don't have to, but it's going to work for the poor DM pretty hard if she has
I'm just
different adventures for everyone.
I just can't believe we all got teleported again. This is the second time. We haven't even gotten the initial plot yet.
Okay, so who all rolled 6? And
Yeah, I did.
I rolled 4.
and
I rolled a 2.
So Zarok and Whiff are together, and then together.
I'm just gonna
Oh
look at
my-
Wiss. You see what happened? I didn't see what happened. Where'd everyone go?
Hell if I know.
Okay, so
Shall we head back in town again? See if we get lucky, or should we just say fucking go off?
I need everyone to roll stealth, and then everyone roll a d20.
Oh shit.
Oh, ooh, this is my favorite one.
Oh, that sounds like
I'm
fun.
small. Can I get advantage with stuff?
Hey, I'm small too, so technically I would like to have advantage as well.
I'm running on all fours with
Joey.
whatever kid I have on my back.
Zay, why
Well, it's a
why do I
6.
gotta see that name? Why do I gotta?
Does that choosing
I
count?
get high bonuses on
Nice.
stealth, but even with that,
God
it's a
damn
6.
it. 7. Cool.
N.
Oh, and the D20.
So
Yeah.
My d20 was bad.
N, Sano, and Effin passed your stealth check.
Flat D20 is a 14. Nice.
And my flat D20 is, please, for the love of God, give me something good.
I should have done this in
Mine
reverse
is
order.
15 for the D20.
6. 6.
Oh, that bird! Oh, the bird is adorable. Look at it. At least you're not a penguin.
Bird. Keegan.
Yeah, I would have not like penguins.
Alright, so.
I think we're all gonna be okay, guys. This is the strategy. You know,
I
separate
know,
from each other.
I got a low stealth roll, and the D20 was pretty high.
I see.
Okay, sorry, I got a phone call.
That's
So.
alright. Patient.
Actually, Evan, you did not pass your stealth check because I confused your d20 that you rolled with your stealth roll, because, yeah, that happened back to back.
It is fine.
So, yeah, anyway. So
Okay.
Oh my
Seriously?
god.
Seriously?
yeah, so what did everybody get on their d20s? I see a 19, I see a 14, I
Got a
see a
14.
5.
6, a
I got a
15.
6.
15.
Yeah, and a 15. Okay.
I got a 6. This is why I got invisibility, just in case.
Syrah, did you roll your d20?
An 8.
You got an 8. Okay. Okay, so the number was 13 and I don't see anyone who got close to that. It was
I did.
between
I'm 14.
yes.
Oh no.
Your
She ripped the
child's gonna
card and we
blow up.
teleport again.
Your
um
child's are back.
so anyhow, you come across you failed your stealth check and you
Mhm.
come across this emaciated person.
My god.
But who?
It's a rock.
Okay.
Okay.
Came across
I'm so
this
happy Whisk is
emaciated
with me.
person. They have somewhat like blue skin, kind of like a tiefling, but they don't have any horns and they have long, very long pointed ears.
Male or female?
Androgynous.
Thank you. Okay. I'm so happy Whisk is with me. Oh, if I was alone, like Sada, I'd be scared as hell.
And I actually need a minute so you can decide what you're going to do. You have time to think about it.
Kill it! No kidding.
The rest of you
Random
are at
time.
random points in the forest outside of town. Um, you should probably consider how you're going to meet up again. I would suggest discussing strategy while I'm gone.
I know what I'm gonna
I'll
do.
be right
I'm
back. I'll
gonna
need
run on
like
all
5 or
fours and
10
sniff the
minutes.
ground.
5 or 10 minutes. Okay. We could just, I don't know, go
Well,
back
you
to the
can you can
inn.
fly.
Yeah, we could just
And
fly.
start heading back towards the town.
or we just never go back to that town.
Actually,
Because that town is cursed now for life. Like, I don't know what to do.
He's
Like
gonna steal himself.
literally, we need. That's not even the town we're supposed to be in.
The town is actually gonna believe they're cursed because a ham just caused a giant
Yep.
explosion.
And then it just made everyone teleport within the inn.
No, the ham made a giant explosion. All the doors now whisper out ham, and they just witnessed in a 14 square foot area, a whole bunch of people just randomly disappear.
What
Yo,
insanity is happening
wait,
right now?
wait, 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 wait. Zarok, that's the story. If we go back to town, we sent us the ham, sent us to see God. To see, we sat at the table of the gods, the ham.
That's I love this
Lyric,
because the thing is,
I have a thing.
I knew that ham was. I knew that ham was bad news.
Hey,
hey
Lyric,
yo,
I want to do
I
a thing.
oh
She,
she's not here right now. She's not here.
shithole.
We're
Lyric
waiting.
is away.
Oh, she's away.
so we're
That's
discussing
why.
strategy and what to do here.
That's why
Well,
we're all just randomly talking right now. We're just.
You mean the emaciated person that you just found?
yeah, that's not me. That's y'all.
uh, I just need to
Oh,
figure
you're.
I supposed to figure out what I want to do. If it's like, do I want to ask them,
Yeah, you guys figure it out.
are you
I'm gonna
okay,
grab
or do I
water.
want to say nah and just continue walking?
I mean, I could always just rip my common card.
That could make things worse, though.
No balls. Do it. No, I'm
Well, I
kidding.
mean, I did redeem my points for an encounter, so I think that's a little bit too much if I rip my common card too.
Random combat. Oh, you jerk.
What, these kids gotta earn their names. How else are they gonna earn their names if they don't earn them in combat?
Through great deeds and life milestones, of course, through surviving to the age of 13.
Yes, because that
That's
is
how
not
it is in
guaranteed.
Victorian England.
Look, surviving to 13 is a great milestone. It means a series of monsters did not eat you, and you were that useful.
Historically speaking, infant mortality rates meant that large enough families didn't always name their latest children.
Fair enough. Oh, for any for just for the sake of strategy. So the blood archer thing I have, if I hit something, I can track it no matter what. So like if something that I attack gets away, I can always find it. I have advantage on wisdom to like track it down. As long as it has blood, by the way.
Just a
I also have
moment.
I also have 3 arrows. I have an arrow that can chase things. I have an arrow that can bind things, and I have an arrow that can banish things. So my hunting arrow allows me to always find the thing's location as long as it fails a roll. My constraining arrow is made of blood tainted by oozes. It does acid damage and allows me to restrain them. And my exiling arrow has celestial blood. It allows me to banish the target to a harmless location in the celestial plane. And they have to succeed a charisma save, or else you know, their speed is 0 and they're incapacitated.
I am back.
Nice. I was just telling them what my arrows do so we can plan around them.
Oh, uh,
Because my hunting arrow cannot be defended against. Either they fail their, if they succeed on their save, they take half damage. If they fail their save, they take full damage, and I can always find them. Also, it wasn't until today I found out they have a marine background in the player's handbook.
that is interesting.
The feature is literally that I can move twice the normal amount of time each day before being subject to the effect of a forced march, which is basically a travel pace. I can move double everyone's pace each day before having to follow a regular pace. And I can also find a safe route to sea or land or a boat as long as they exist. So I can always find a safe route to land a boat on shore if we ever get stuck at the water, if we are on the coast. I should actually read the player's handbook. There's a lot of stuff in there I'm not too familiar with.
There is. I've got a whole PDF of it.
I have it in digital. I just really don't want to read the whole thing back to front.
It's true. It's difficult.
I lose interest so frequently.
We figured out how we were going to meet up. Sorry, I went to go get a hair thing so I can put my hair up because it was bothering me.
You're fine. I wanted to rip a common card.
Okay.
Yay! There's no way it could be worse, right?
I mean, I don't know what the common cards do. Is that those Dream Loots cards?
Yes. I
I
think
love it.
there's one that automatically causes the air to turn into chlorine if I was reading the list right.
I love it how you said that, and that's gonna become your famous last words.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time.
especially since one of the common cards is all the air within 1 foot of the user turns into chlorine gas.
I remember that
That
one.
just seems like a very vindictive thing.
I will state this.
What's
I've-
the chances we're gonna actually get that card though?
Oh, I will
One
say
in however many there
Well, it's-
are.
I hate to have this record. I hate having this record upon this group right now, but I have currently gone through 4 different goddamn cards. 3 of them weren't mine. I
Man,
survived
I wish I got a
Zen,
card.
Sonos. I've gone through foolproofs,
I never got a card. What do you mean?
and now mine. So
1d8 bones teleports into the user. The loser uses 1d10 HP per bone.
if Whiff decides to rip another card, that's gonna be 5 cards that I've personally gone through because I'm either near them or within the vicinity to be affected by it.
Those common cards seem like a good idea.
All architecture within 120 feet of the user is leveled.
I'll say this right now. Every one of those Stream Loot cards have nothing beneficial to us yet.
Oh, and I only have the common ones. Honestly, these common ones are actually kind of bad.
I was
Mage
hoping
hand. Air cannot come within 10 feet of the user's principal weapon or self. It's if mage.
Lyric
Fuck
has
you.
stated that she would change or add more. She's still working on it, so it's just like none of them are beneficial to us yet.
A false but real looking map magically tattoos onto the user's skin for 1d6 hours.
You get a map that's completely useless.
No,
All of the user's items become enchanted with continual light for 2d8 hours.
You are a walking flashlight that cannot turn off.
All items carried by the user aged by 1,000 years.
Everything you have just...
All your shit turns to dust.
Yeah.
That's very useful, actually.
A rainbow springs from the user's head and follows them everywhere for 1d6 hours.
You become a leprechaun.
A walking beacon. Like I said,
you know, yeah, there's nothing good that comes out of this card.
Nothing beneficial.
Well, you tore a mythic, right? Let's see.
Yeah.
The user and allies are all randomly teleported 1d6 miles separately in differing directions.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you were real close to the other card, right?
I know.
Like, a user barks like a dog in the presence of royalty or government uncontrollably.
Mm-hmm.
Looks at me. He barks in front of me. Laughs.
Oh, that's the enchantment
That's the
of
card
the
you
boot
almost
licker,
got.
is it?
The wrong tree. The user, then there's equilibrium. The user can add a point to an attribute of their choosing, but lose 2 on another one. Not worth it.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, nothing beneficial.
All gold carried by the user doubles.
I went through them. I went through each and every card when I first saw them. It was like nothing good, not good, not good, not good. Situational.
What are you talking
situational,
about?
not
All
good.
gold carried by the user doubles. That's great.
So does the weight.
But we don't use encumbrance.
All properties of the gold doubles.
No, I'm looking
Does
at
that mean
all
that
gold
the value
carried.
of the
All
gold
gold.
doubles as well as
No, it
its
says all
amount?
gold carried by the user. Okay,
Yeah, I know.
100 coins equals 200.
That's just not the coins either though. That's all gold. That means anything you have on you that's gold plated, gold encrusted, anything gold is going to be.
How much
doubled.
gold do you have on you?
Depends on you. I'm a merchant.
Oh
You
yeah,
tell
so
me.
you'd
You
be
tell
the
me.
slow one.
You tell me, mister. I'm the one carrying everyone's money right now. You tell me.
Not carrying my money.
Any magic, good or bad, cast on the user for 1d24 hours has reversed effect. Ooh.
That's useful, potentially.
That's the poison apple.
Or crippling.
So if it's a bad effect, it's the opposite. But if it's a good effect,
It's the opposite.
it's the opposite.
So can you imagine if someone's trying to heal you
Someone's trying to cast bless on you, and you're just
instead of
and you see
instead of blesses, it does curse.
basically. Honestly, I need to see that in at least one campaign,
Can you
just for shits
imagine?
and
Can
giggles.
you imagine someone casts spare the dying, but instead casts disintegrate?
Sorry, but if I can see the opposite of spare the dying being finger of death.
That works too.
And honestly, like if I'm watching like you try to heal someone and it automatically turns into finger of death, that just sounds painful. Like that's a bad taste in my mouth if I ever heard it or if I ever saw it to begin with. She can't do country accents, so I wasn't able to force her into an accent this time. Sadness. Oh, there's an instant death redeem
Hmm.
for us or the NPCs.
Read it. Click it, and read it.
I'll just die as soon as I possibly can in game, of course.
Yep.
Yeah, no.
So guess what that means? We're fighting BBG. Hey, instant death.
Hmm.
So we all decided that we're going back home.
That's what I'm trying to if that's what we've decided or not.
Well, I mean, we have to deal with the emaciated guy, so like, and it's I feel
Well,
it's gonna turn into combat.
it's a choice. You can
Yeah,
just walk
it's a choice.
away.
We can just walk away.
I want to shoot it though, just to see if it like moves.
You want to shoot it to see
Oh,
if it moves.
That's a person.
You could just talk
Oh
to them. Jeez.
right.
You
Yeah,
want
let's just talk to it.
Jesus Christ! I thought I was bad.
Oh, yeah.
I kill everything. I think I've killed like the most things so far, and like some of it wasn't
It's
even
all right.
intentional.
I accidentally killed about like look in my defense. I accidentally killed like 50 kobolds. But look,
Accidentally, my
they had
ass.
kidnapped some people they were planning to eat, and I just happened to conjure a spout of magma inside of their home.
I see.
It's an accidental my ass.
But like they were okay after they were charred.
So I guess our best bet is just to find a
But
direction where we find where town is, because I don't know what direction it automatically
I
put
have
me in.
bird
So.
sense. I know which way.
Well, I just gotta.
I don't know which way.
I just gotta sniff N.
What do you mean birds? Birds. You just gotta fly up. You just gotta fly up, and you'll find the town.
Bird sense.
Burp sense.
She gets shot out the sky.
Nah, you're right. It's
So
burp
sad.
tingle.
The bird tingle.
Burp tingle. It's the new spider sense. Burp tingle.
Yeah, but I think that's our best bet. I can probably find my way back through scent.
Well, ideally, I wouldn't mind just continuing on our path because, like I said, it ain't bothering me. I ain't bothering it. We just gonna move on our way.
Yep.
But if you wish to deal with it with, you're more than welcome to. Just let me walk away first.
I was just.
Nah, the gnome who tore the mythic card should definitely be here for this, so I'm just gonna jump at it and touch him.
Well, I said if you're gonna do that, but we have to wait for a lyric to get here first. But all I know is I'm gonna go away.
Well, I'm
Well,
just
I
going
mean
back to
you're under the
center point.
assumption that I'm not faster than you.
Well, the thing is, you have to understand, you're more likely faster than me. I'm a gnome. I have 25 feet of movement. You have 5 feet guaranteed over me every time. I
This is
know I'm not
accurate.
faster than all you guys. I know that for a fact I'm not faster than all you guys. But you have to understand, I don't have to be fast. I just need to get out of the area fast enough.
Well, it
I
depends
just
on
have
what
to
the
be
creature that I'm
faster.
planning to poke is.
that's a very good point.
I just have to be faster than the slowest guy, which is currently you because you're closest to him.
But
He's
I'm
more
not planning to run away.
well. that's good then, because I plan to, and I'm just going to walk off while you are talking to it.
He said that with such confidence.
Excuse me if I
I'm
wish
sorry.
to live to fight another day.
Uh, all I know is that I think us going back to the inn because I don't know if the harpy's still there.
Like I said, I currently have majority of our money because I have what 1,335 gold.
And that's fine, but you can still be here for the fight. You just have to stand back long enough. You're an artillerist.
Yeah, but if I
You have
die,
guns.
if we both die, who the hell go get our shit?
I mean, if you die, I'll just take the money off of your body.
You motherfuckers! You just gonna use me as a shield, huh? Damn! What
Yes.
a highway robbery!
You're a merchant. Nobody cares if you die.
I'm sure someone cares if merchants die.
God damn.
Yeah,
No.
probably other merchants.
What about like
Oh
the group?
no, I wouldn't say that merchants care if anyone dies.
I was gonna say, what about like the group that he's with? You care
Money
about
is
the white
money.
guy?
I'm just saying, I didn't call those two son for no reason.
Yes, he
Are
adopted
you
us,
older than them?
probably. Sano's like only like 17, turning 18.
I believe Ed's about the same age too. I am older.
Yeah, he's like a year older than me.
I mean, look in the campaign on Thursdays, we have two people that I currently call Grand Monk and Grand Fae,
Mm-hmm.
because one is a previous Archfey that is currently mortal, and he's still learning how to be a regular mortal. Like he's still learning how to eat and sleep for like sustenance. And like he has a habit of like being very very old, and he said he stopped counting his age after 1,000. So initially I called him Grandpa. Now I call him Grand Fae.
Well, that's because him is a day. So, to be fair.
Yes, Effin
In
is a
game or
Fae.
out of game?
So like F is that's in the game. Effin is also a Fae. So Effin refers to him as Grand Fae. He's like, well, I was a grand. I'm not so much of a Grand Fae anymore. I'm like, it's because you're old, not because I see you as an authority figure. And
Well,
Effin just took on Knight Enchanter yesterday, so you know Effin's gonna be singing songs of war.
nice.
So yes, you're gonna have a singing swordsman, a true blade singer.
So, Scanlan.
He's also a warlock like me. Pretty sure.
Yes, I took one level of Warlock Knight Enchanter yesterday,
Yeah.
mainly for the armor proficiency, but also because you know I wanted to go Artificer Composer, but I'm like this takes too long and I don't want to do that, so I'm just gonna go with the most fun combo, and I'm just gonna sing and buff us before I start slicing things.
Tara, you said you're also an artificer.
Yeah, I am.
Which subclass are you doing?
Uh, I don't remember. Hold on.
Okay.
All right.
I've never played Artificer before.
Yeah, you're
Arcane
fair, that's
Gunslinger.
Okay.
I'm back.
My gun. I have a crossbow though, so I assume that counts.
Yay! Lyric is
Welcome
back.
back.
Thank you. So
I
what
decided I wanted to
the
poke
shenanigans?
the
third.
emaciated guy.
What shenanigans did I miss?
Very
I was
few.
thinking about ripping a card and I decided not to, and I just decided I want to poke the dry guy.
While he's poking it, I'm walking away.
But you have to stand here for this. It's your job to like study
No, it
things
ain't.
as an artificer, right?
All she said was I see it. She never said I had to interact with it.
You're right. I'm
So,
still gonna
I
poke it.
see it. I see it. Apparently you see it, but I walked away. You poked it. So, Lyric, you're more than happy to play it out with him, but I'm walking away.
Okay. Well,
I'm gonna let sleeping dragons lie.
if if you uh if you still want to poke them after that, then by all means.
All right. I walk up to him and poke his shoulder, and I'm like, "Hey, you okay?" You seem a little dehydrated.
Upon hearing that word, I'm gonna just start sprinting. So I'm gonna double my movement speed if you don't mind.
I use the dash action
Hell
infinitely.
yeah!
uh, so anyway, the person's gonna look up at
You
you.
know what? Next time I'm gonna do that. You said I'm gonna do what now?
He looks up at you, and he's like totally parched. Like his lips are chapped and like cracked and bleeding. He looks totally emaciated. Help, help me.
How do I help you? Do you need water?
Water, water, food, something.
Can I hand him one of my rations?
You can, in fact.
Alright, I hand him a ration. I'm gonna subtract one from myself.
And he starts like noisily eating it, like an animal.
Man, you were hungry.
So after several minutes, he finishes what is essentially an MRE. and
Ugh, gross.
and
Hey man, I agree with you only to certain ones. There are some pretty good MREs.
Chicken chunk for the win, baby.
he looks up at you, clasps both of his hands together, and just like like a broken record. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
And off to this
Oh,
one
can
too,
I?
or is that somebody else?
Um, yeah, we can jump to someone else and just assume that they're talking, I
You can
guess.
turn the handle. Can I ask him like, how did you end up so dry?
uh,
Sir, why are you so dry?
Yeah, you look like all the
Damn,
moisture's been sucked out of your body, and that you were left out in the sun to fry, like
you
you were just like a
ashy.
failed turkey.
You ashy. Put some lotion on. You never heard of lotion?
No, this
Moisturize.
exceeds the level of ashy. This is like if a human like embodied what eating turkey feels like.
I'm gonna leave that conversation at that. We're gonna bounce to someone else for a minute, and we're just gonna assume you two are gonna continue talking.
Yes, I'm gonna talk to Dry Man.
uh, so who else wants to find their way back to wherever?
Well, I was gonna
Uh,
ask. You made me roll a stealth check. Like, was that for like everybody? The
Yeah,
stealth
I
check?
I commented after you guys started rolling. I was like, I did this in reverse order.
Oh, no.
I was supposed to find out who was gonna encounter the random like thing, and then it was supposed to be stealth, and I did it backwards. I
So what
have
you're
I
telling me
have
is,
two brain cells, and neither one of them collided with each other in that moment.
That's a mood and a half.
so, you know, that's a mood and a half.
Anyway, so who else wants to find their way back?
Uh, Thyra does.
All right,
I could
so
go home. Can I
Bird
bring
home
Turkey with me?
instincts
Because I want to call
engage.
him Turkey.
so first, I'm gonna like out loud count how many NPCs we have with us. We have the two kids, and Fee, and Avery. That should be it, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's all. Because you guys killed the Arachnomancer. You killed the
Did we?
princess. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Did you kill the
Wait.
princess?
No, no.
Not our
Listen,
fault.
listen. It's not our fault. I'll put that. I'll put that on my like grave. That is not my fault.
I'll say this right now. A lot of things we killed were made a lot harder than it should have been. Like it was made a lot harder than it should have been because every time like majority of us agree, one or two people would go, but this is just like seriously.
13.
We're all telling you the logical reasons why we're just going to do it this way, and it's like,
Count
but
one,
this.
count two.
Okay. Okay. So what's happening
Did
here?
you name one of the kids Avery after this spot?
Wasn't us. Wasn't us who named it. Wasn't us who named it.
No.
Okay.
Actually, whenever I created Avery, I didn't put two and two together. That's our dice bot, and that's my fault. His
Yeah, she didn't notice. She didn't notice until I stated out loud.
Oh,
Of
his,
course you named it Avery. Of course you named the asshole in Avery.
and this is not the first group that I have run this campaign with either.
yeah,
Oh,
we're the best group.
straight up, we're the best group.
We are the best group.
Created an
Well,
ebony.
regardless, that aside, my point was nobody else caught it either.
You're
um,
the best.
yeah, it's Avery and Agnes. Avery was turned into a donkey, but he maintained his human sentience. And he was married to Agnes, an absolutely horrible person that immediately upon meeting her, the party killed. And
Wait, did we?
you did. In fact, you're the one that killed her.
Remember, you were the one
When?
for us
You're
to
the
fight
one
him
that killed her!
No, I
when I went
didn't.
to go find the frogs.
I didn't kill nobody.
Shut the fuck up.
I didn't.
uh...
Remember when I had to bury a body for 7 hours? And I was like, yeah, this is very fun.
That's very, very logical.
So you didn't kill anyone, you just had to bury them.
For 7 hours.
I don't think.
Anyway, so that's
Just to
that's
know the
Avery's
story.
story. The party encountered him, murdered his wife, and then adopted him. Uh,
Remember, we didn't adopt a certain person did, and then we just kind of took over the responsibilities.
Wait, who adopted?
also, they found out he's basically a universal translator, so at least he has his use.
He has a job now.
Okay.
He has a job.
Yep, that's pretty
And
good.
then the children were adopted by N because the first time the party got teleported 1d6 miles away from each other, he found a plot character who was interacting with these children and he adopted all three of them. The plot character has since split on his separate way back to his mistress, who's a huge part of what is going on in you guys' little world right now. Um, she has both saved you guys and gotten you into trouble. Um,
Oh, we
and
know.
so anyway, so he adopted these two children who were totally mute, presumably from trauma, and so that is child one and child two. They have not been named. One of them is a druid. Pretty sure the other one's a cleric. And Fee is a harpy child that the party adopted because harpies are long-standing allies with humans in this world, and they're living lie detectors. So they're basically adopting her so that they can use her.
Very nice of you guys.
Everybody has a purpose.
Well,
So
okay,
Fee
so
and
the thing is,
Avery are together with whoever rolled 4 on their 1d6.
I don't think anyone did.
Child 1 is with whoever rolled 2, and Child 2 is with whoever rolled 3.
No, but
Child's
Oh
one with
yay!
me and Smoke.
I got child number two. I'm gonna help you change your name,
a
kid.
child was with me and Smoke. I can't.
oh no.
All
Okay,
right, so
that
so here's where you stab it for a critical hit. Okay, make your father proud.
I'm I'm still alone.
Yeah, I think B and Avery are by themselves then, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they're by themselves. That's even worse. Iconia.
Okay, so this time for identification purposes, Child 1 is the younger one, and Child 2 is the older one.
Okay, so I'm assuming since we have child, or technically, yeah, the child one is near me and Smoke. We have the younger one.
Okay.
That's fun.
The other two are.
Wait, did anyone get three? I think child two's by himself too.
I did. I got one.
What was with child two? Child two got
What?
I rolled
separated.
a 4.
Anne's gonna lose his babies.
Okay, so Arch got a 4, so he's with Avery and Fee. So no one rolled a 3. All right.
One of the children are gonna die. I gotta go. I don't know where he
Um,
is. I gotta find everybody.
but we're back to Syrah. Now that I've explained what all the NPCs are from. So Syrah,
Yes.
what would you like to do in this
Well, I
situation?
am with 2 other people, I believe. Actually,
What number did you guys roll?
6.
6. Okay.
So
I
it'd
think
be
that
me and
Anne went to pick up his medicine. I don't know if he's back yet.
okay.
So
Me.
fly. So fly. Be free, Burb. Never see us again.
Bird, before you go, take revenge.
Take revenge.
Yeah,
What do you?
fly up.
I want me to pick them up?
Yes.
No. Aerial bombardment. Fly up and then go off.
Oh no.
No.
Drop a present
Why?
while you're going up.
Why? Why would I attack anyone?
You're not attacking them.
You're just defending yourself.
You're just doing a natural thing what that birds do when they fly above people.
All right.
No.
So
I am a sentient bird,
But the thing is, you thought about it though.
but
that laugh was you took a second to think about it.
and also I wear clothes. I only look like a bird. Well, I am a bird, but
You are a small Burb. You must
I
protect.
am a small bird.
just like Avery only looks like a donkey.
Yeah, no, he doesn't look like a donkey to me.
The donkey doesn't look like a donkey to you.
No, because I see a wonderful soul in that donkey. That's a person in there. That's a person.
Oh,
Well,
hey,
since N
Lyric, I
isn't
have a
here,
question.
Oh, one sec.
sorry, go on.
No, you.
Can I keep the dry man? I want to call him Gizzard.
Everyone calls him Turkey.
I thought about that, but like, if he's as dry as you say it, he just sounds more like he looks like a gizzard.
That person probably has a name, and I just want to remind you that you're responsible for feeding this person if you adopt them.
Yeah,
That's
don't bring that.
fine. I can just kill things and cook it for him.
Don't
Okay.
kill burbs, please.
Well,
Except
I
when
mean, that's a party member, but what about other random birds that walk by that are not party members?
I will take offense to it.
And I will not do it in front of you.
That's not a bird leg at all. It's a
It's a fish drum.
It's tofu.
it's so
It's a fish drum and a buffalo wing.
well, okay, well, since N isn't here, yeah, no, Syra is just she's gonna try to make her way back to the town because she has no idea what just happened. And
We
she
can
wants to
we can
investigate it.
say so. Uh, I'm gonna roll a dice here. So you guys fell from 5 feet in the air. You're a bird and conscious, so you were able to slow your descent, but N is completely unconscious.
oh
We'll say
my
that.
god, my baby.
Okay. I mean, how big is N?
It's all.
He's like
It's
5
all
foot.
right.
He's
Life or
he's
death
about twice
experiences are
Syrah's height.
good for growth.
Twice
He,
my
Yeah,
height.
he's
yeah,
about
He's
twice.
he's like average human. Average human.
like 5.
Can I
He's about
can I
twice
roll
her height.
something to try to like clutch
Drag
him
him?
with my feet and fly him back?
You're
You
going
gotta
to
give
Uh,
this man a concussion.
you're too small to like
I'm too
carry him
small.
while flying, but you can do a strength check to see if you can drag him.
I can do that. I can do it with my -1.
Let's see
um,
how this goes.
so that's actually my fault. I don't like negative modifiers, so you can go ahead and bump that up to a 10 so that it's a 0. And then I'll let you roll again with your new modifier.
It is the
Let me.
power of the DM.
Yeah, hold on. Let me do that real quick. no negative modifiers. Interesting.
I
Yeah,
know, right?
I
It's such a unique spin on things.
I just wonder what I'm
No
gonna have
matter
to deal
what,
with.
your lowest is going to be a 10.
I feel like letting you guys make it zeros doesn't really change the game much, but it's a nice, less punishing version of the
Hold
same
on, I
thing.
just realized because I took the archaeologist background, I can choose another language.
Hey, nice.
Um,
Ooh, nice.
I
I speak dino.
He's turning from an artificer into a reporter.
I'm gonna
It's
be
all
a
right though. They have an archivist. You know they have an archivist, artivist or subclass.
No, I know.
do they?
But like, yeah,
Oh yeah, they
it's
do.
a third party content thing. But like, its primary abilities are based on like causing like people to die from overload of information.
Hey, you know what? Can I change me real quick?
I mean, you would have access to it. I brewed it and I added it. It's called the archivist.
There was two of them on mine, so I was like, I don't know what these are.
Well, now you know.
Why not change?
Um,
Wait a minute. Are we gonna like have our heads explode? Because if that's the case, I veto that adding on.
too late. You're gonna lose your
I don't
turn.
want the bird to find me eating a bird and then like my head just goes boom.
The bird sees you eating bird, you start hearing it chirp like non-stop, your head just explodes and combusts.
I forget how to change
Look,
that on here.
I mean, let's be entirely fair. My character's background is a marine. That is the most metal way to go. Like if I die, in gruesome combat, that's acceptable.
What are you trying to
Like, dude,
change,
you died
Izumi?
while eating lunch.
Archivist.
Right, is that a subclass or is it a race?
It's a subclass.
Then it's in your level menus once you reach like level 2, 3, depending on the class.
Okay, yeah, I
It's
see
three
it
for
here.
artificer.
Um, I think I found it. It just has to load for me. Here we go. Yeah, there's like two archivists.
Probably because
Sub.
I did two versions of it, and I never did just remove the one. I'm gonna remove the one later today.
Oh, he has that written. He has that written down somewhere, as you can tell. There's a calendar, a Google calendar somewhere, and that was just already docked in.
See, that's where you're wrong. I literally just added it to my Google Calendar.
You know, see what this other one is. I think it's the same one. Oop. Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
Your phone.
Yeah, they're most definitely the same one. I just forgot to add discrepancies between the two and add the version.
Well, one of them let me pick tools of the trade, so
Then that's the correct one.
okay. Well then, there we go. I want to talk people's brains out. Okay. Anyways, that's updated. Let me re-roll my strength check,
Yes.
which is why I was doing this in the first place. Well, it's not much better.
That's fine.
Well,
I've been graduating my character sheet this entire time.
I'm sorry, what?
You were robotic.
Oh, sorry. I was saying it's okay. I've been finishing, putting the finishing touches on my character sheet while I've been talking as well.
Well, 7 is not quite enough to drag an entire person.
Yeah,
So.
sure. Well, then I am going to. I'm going to leave them a note. Apparently, I have a notebook. I've decided this. Sorry, I didn't.
I don't know why some amount of writing material wouldn't be in an adventures pack. Like, ideally, you would want to be making maps of where you're going.
Well,
Writing.
ideally, a survivor's kit has some sort of paper or type of cloth-like fabric that you can write on a survival
Yeah.
kit.
Right, that's
So,
my point. Like I don't know why starting gear wouldn't include paper and ink of some kind.
Anyways, so yeah, I am going to leave a note for N and tell them that I am headed back towards the town. I would like to discuss more about this ham with them.
All right.
And then I would fly back towards the town.
the
Okay.
best part is you are talking. You're leaving a note for the one who has the ham.
Yep.
Um
Okay. This
yeah.
idea brilliant sons. What is that?
Uh,
I'm gonna re-roll that because that is super spoilery for Tuesday.
Okay.
yeah, I'm about to say is like I believe these guys are playing the same exact module in your
Force.
other
Okay.
ones.
um so yeah, you come across spore servants, which is weird for them to be on the surface. Mm.
It was it raining?
No, we do have random patches of super coldness though. So
No, like for the spore servants, usually spores don't really come up unless it was like a heavy rain the previous night.
wait, I don't even know what spore servants are. Are they also sentient?
Yes, they are sentient. They're monsters that are controlled by fungus spores of myconids, usually, which are a race of mushroom people like stool.
If you've seen the IRL mushrooms that take over the ants, it's the same type of thing.
Same concept, yeah.
Same concept, but
Well,
less.
I'm flying, so I can just pass right by them.
They shoot spores at you.
Well, I mean, assuming they even see her. Alright,
Oh,
so.
by the way, since you
It's
took the
weird that they're on here.
notes,
Keep going.
oh, no, you're good. I was just gonna state something about the archivist that you might want to know.
Okay.
They have there's this thing called the artificial mind. Basically, if you have materials, allow them you can awaken you can awaken non-sentient objects. It does include plant matter, minerals, and animal matter. So you can actually cause the ham to speak if you really wanted to do that.
Artificial mind. Okay, yeah. Holy crap! Yes,
Oh,
I
don't
could.
worry, the ham has a voice.
Wait, the ham is actually alive?
No, no. The
In a
ham.
way,
Wait,
yes.
wait until
In
you
a way,
find out.
yes.
The ham is not alive, but is also not alive.
The ham is in
What?
a way alive, and the ham in a
So
way
is
has a voice.
Schrodinger's ham?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Magic item Schrodinger's hand.
Don't
We've
give me
created
ideas.
we've created Schrodinger's ham.
Both alive and not alive. It's like I am the almighty ham.
You don't understand. It is, and it did say that.
Yeah,
That's
so
horrible.
It's a ham that is dead.
You guys would really have to go back into our into Lyric's actual archives of Twitch and watch that episode if you guys want to know what we're talking about.
I will be doing
so
this.
I would actually recommend going to YouTube for that. The archive is easier to browse through. Um
Oh,
so sorry, I lost track. Let's get like a log written of like what everyone rolled for their d6. So, who rolled a 1?
Me.
Okay, Sano rolled a 1.
Effin is sorry, Whiff and the gnome creature rolled a 2.
Turok, Whiff, and the youngest child have rolled twos.
Gnome creature merchant.
Okay, and then we have child 2
Uh,
rolled a 3.
Oldest child is a three. Yes. I don't think anyone rolled a four.
Archers
I
rolled a
Or
4.
rolled
oh, sorry,
a 4.
Artress, Fee, and Avray are at four. I believe no one rolled a five, and then technically Syra and N rolled sixes.
Okay.
And then wherever the NPCs are scattered around.
Yeah, I know. You asked to make that roll like an hour ago.
Yeah, I just lost track. That's all.
No,
Okay.
you're fine. Like I said,
So
wherever the NPCs are scattered around.
okay. So Sarah would run into Fee, Avery, and Artress
Oh,
before encountering anyone else.
I guess I'll just land next to them.
And
I've never met Fee or Avery, but Artress is a familiar face.
and Artress has
yo,
met
hold
them,
a
so he
second.
would
Yo,
know.
hold a second. I just out of curiosity, wouldn't Fee go for her though?
Well, technically yes, but also no.
Wait,
Fee would probably be terrified of her because she's an owl.
but she's a very, very small owl at that, and I believe Fee is a lot bigger than her.
Owls are terrifying.
No, I understand that. I understand that.
Fear
'Cause,
me.
Regardless of what
Me, look at
regardless
it.
of
Owls
what
are
we
flipping cute.
know, regardless of what we know about Sierra, Fee, one, has never met her, and also is only going to think with bird brain, and bird brain says owl bad.
okay, works for me. Like I said, I just didn't know because I do know that harpies are very carnivorous at times. So if she is
I
hungry,
feel
and I
like
do know
Sarah
that,
should automatically have a proficiency in intimidation
Thing is,
because
I don't
she's
know
an
any
owl.
of these children either. I just ended up in the middle of the woods, and
Well,
it's
okay,
just these
so
two kids.
you
well,
don't
the
remember
funny thing is
having a
that
You say there
drinking
are
contest.
harpy and
So
something else?
so
Archers,
there's
you
there's
have a
a
very fun
harpy
situation.
there's a harpy child with you. She's very young. Like barely older than a toddler young. And so she's very naive, very precocious, completely mute, does not talk. Um but she does make bird noises. She's a living lie detector, and she has an affinity for bringing somewhat useful, also useless magical items.
She's good at finding little
Um,
knickknacks.
yes, and she'll randomly bring them to you guys periodically.
The ones to
Y-
trap dummies.
you guys already have several items from her.
So
And
she's a lie
then
detector and she's a metal detector.
Yeah,
basically, yeah. She just picks up whatever shiny object she finds discarded on the road and has an affinity
that's why
for
we adopted her. That's why
and
we adopted her.
and has an affinity for
Who's
knowing whenever
discarding
they're magic, which
all of
makes
the
them
magic
extra shiny,
items
which
on the
means
road?
she's going to pick them up, definitely. These are small items, like she found a coin that lights things on fire that became the heart for Zarok's homunculus servant, so now it can light things on fire with a range of touch, etc., etc. The cup that makes cows talk, that came from Fee too. Um,
The liquid that made Foolproof forget himself came
for
from
two
Fee as
weeks,
well.
2 whole weeks of the man's life. And then Avery, I've already explained, is a donkey who used to be a person, maintained his human
Yeah.
sentience, and all of that. So you are with Fee, the harpy girl that I just described, and the donkey. Syrah just landed next to you, and Fee is going to go berserk. She's going to start shrieking. I need everyone else that is not in this little group here to roll perception check.
Oh,
Sano and I don't know if N is back and can hear this. I'm pretty sure you guys get advantage on hearing-based checks.
oh, this is gonna be a bad one. 3.
Ruh-roh.
Like I said, I hate Avery.
I got an 18.
Okay, 18's pretty good.
I don't hear shit.
Oh, good heavens, Dr. Syra. Did you have to show up now? I just got the kids to calm down.
Wait, hold a second.
Avery's
I
not a
don't
kid.
even know their names.
Hold a second.
I think Avery's an
If
older
Fee
dumb.
started screeching, wouldn't those 4 need to make a save? Or sorry, 3.
I was waiting to
Alright.
see if any of you guys would notice that she shrieked from so far away. That's what I made you guys roll perception for.
Okay, yeah, no, I figured that much out, but yeah, I won't hear shit.
But an 18
I
is
just
good
got
enough
the
to
kid
hear
and
her.
donkey to calm down.
But Zorak does bring up a good point. I need you two to roll con saves.
Wouldn't Donkey need to as well?
Yeah, I'm already working on that.
Okay, just making sure.
Do I? Okay.
Dirty 20.
Yes, you need to roll a con save, please.
Okay.
Avery
Yeah, no,
passes.
the dice are not with me. I rolled an 8.
For a constitution save? No, I just needed a perception from you. You got a 13.
I rolled an 8 on my con save.
Oh, never mind.
Okay, you failed. You're now disoriented, so doesn't seem like you are saying much of anything at the moment. um,
You also
and
gotten that out of the way.
Syrah
Emily got
made a
teleported.
20. So you passed the con save, so you're the only one who's not like literally jarred by the sound that you're hearing. Sano, since you can hear this, I also need you to make a con save, please. Because harpy
Sure.
shrieks are magical, so even though it's at a distance.
I never thought I'd be happy to not hear Fee scream.
Alright, save myself.
I got a 13.
That fails. You are disoriented now. So because you can hear Fee, you can act it out however you want. You can fall to your knees. You can start like howling in pain. Whatever you want to do. Artress, it's you. You can act out however you react to. Basically, it sounds like someone took a foghorn and put it inside of your skull and then decided to pull the trigger on it. A foghorn. Those big. Like honk honk.
Well, I guess I'll just like cover my ears with both of my hands and like kind of like curl up in a ball.
Okay.
Because I remember when I first met her, she screamed at me.
Alright, well, Artress isn't talking, so Syrah, how do you react?
Well, obviously this is still gonna.
I guess I clutch my ears with my hands and look, you know, grumpy and pained. Sorry.
Okay. Alright, no problem. So yeah, so Syrah, how do you respond?
I'm just gonna be like, no, it's okay. Shh, shh, shh. And I'm gonna take like a gold coin out and try to like offer it to
Fee.
Fi.
Fee.
Fee.
I don't
Fee
remember why they named her that, but it's Fee. Yeah, Fee Fi Fo Fum.
Heart Fee, Fee. Fee.
Okay.
Simple.
Fee. I'm going to offer her a gold coin.
And she's gonna like smack it out of your hand and like hide behind Avery and Artress.
Wait,
She does
what goes
magical stuff, doesn't she?
time?
As well.
Sorry, what?
She does. She like she's attracted to magical stuff, right?
Yes.
Um.
She also likes shiny things because, I mean, she is a bird, but she's terrified of you, so she thinks that you're like trying to stab her whenever you're offering things, and so she smacked your hand and then ran away. Basically.
She stopped screeching.
Um. Yes. Yes, she stopped screeching.
Since she stopped screeching, I'm like, no, it's okay. I'm not gonna hurt you. I don't eat other bird-like things.
And that kind of calms her down, but she still seems like apprehensive.
I'm gonna pick the gold coin back up, and then I'm gonna use magical tinkering, and I'm gonna make it uh give off a 5 foot radius of light, and then I'm gonna try to hand it back to her.
Holy shit, in the
Magical
middle of
item.
the day?
Magical shiny item.
And
A magical shiny item.
so now that she's basically blinded,
It's not but it just says it shines. Like it doesn't say like how bright.
5 foot radius of light in the middle of the day?
You know, it either emits an odor or a nonverbal sound or static effect or a long message. And the only non weird one for that might get a baby freaking harpy to be quiet and calm down is a shiny coin. Quite
I'm
literally shiny.
I'm not disagreeing with your logic. I'm just saying that's the equivalent of shining a flashlight in someone's face.
I would assume that the amount of light that it gives off in the day would be the same amount of light it gives off at night.
Right, which is a 5 foot radius.
But for the
Daytime,
day,
but daytime is different from nighttime. Your eyes react differently.
I guess it would be kind of like looking at a thing of light off shining off of a car.
Yeah, like in broad daylight.
Okay, well, it can emit an odor then that is like roses or something. No, lavender, because lavender calms people down.
Okay.
Harpy starts freaking out even more.
I thought about it because I personally don't like lavender, but So anyway, I mean, it takes her a few minutes. She's hiding behind Archers. She's hiding behind Avery, and Avery just kind of like nudges her towards you, trying to like alleviate the situation. And that really calms her down, because she trusts Avery because he's an animal like she is, and so she hesitantly and somewhat reluctantly reaches one of her little hands out and grabs the coin and then goes and hides back behind the other two.
Hey, I just gotta say though, Lyric, when you said Avery's an animal, technically we're all animals.
Yes, but there's a difference between like
And under technicality, you said that also Avery isn't a donkey, so he's
right,
not technically an animal either.
but Fee's a child. I'm explaining from her point of view.
I'm not sure there's enough overlap between, you know, harpies and donkeys that she finds that particularly comforting. But she does know Avery, and she does not know Syra or myself. So
No, she has met you because remember, um, she was part of the drinking game accidentally, and so was Avery.
See, they met you. They haven't got a long chance to know you yet, but they have met you, Idris. Fee has more trust towards me,
yes,
Atlas, and Foolproof right now. The only issue is two of them
but
are missing, and I'm not with you.
she definitely knows Avery a whole lot more than me.
Well, yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, she's
but
traveled with Avery for a
she
while.
at least has a familiar face with you as well, because she at least recognized you with us,
Yeah,
Hmm,
compared to the
I suppose
owl,
so.
which
compared to a
popped up right next to
random
her.
owl that has yet to be introduced and just kind of, hi guys, and it's just like, who the hell are you?
Yeah, and then appeared out of
I do
nowhere.
my best
Yeah.
to soothe Fee by saying like things like don't worry, young lady. The owl means you no harm. You're all you're going to be perfectly all right.
Also, just brief sidebar. Keep in mind also that she's probably pretty jumpy because this is less than a full 24 hours since you guys almost blew her the fuck up.
No, no,
You
I
guys
don't.
do.
I don't remember that. I wasn't there
Yes,
for that.
suffering is minor trauma.
I'm
So
sorry to say, but
fine.
I don't
Who's
know why you.
we?
I don't know why you said them and y'all, because I wasn't the one who blew us up.
Yeah, I wasn't the one that blew this up.
Even
Remember,
if you're only one person,
this
you
whole
really blew
remember
us
this
up.
whole entire campaign, my character Zarok has yet to even throw a single punch. and actually land with someone.
It's
Every attack I've made so far as the Rock Johnson has always missed or just never hit. I have yet to even do a single point of damage.
So have I, but that's because I've only been there for one session.
Except financial damage if you include dismantling an entire slaver's ring.
Hey, I did them a favor.
Maybe, but still, nonetheless, it is financial damage.
It was illegal.
Wait,
Is
Un-
very
you
illegal,
dis-
yes.
you
I
dismantled the
demolished the
slaver's
slavery
ring?
operation.
He
Yeah, I
he almost
demolished the slavery
single-handedly.
operation. I
If
almost
that
got
comes
away
up
with
in
it. If it what
conversation,
I almost got away with it. The only issue is there were some kids that
you and
like
Alex are
ran
going to
through a
become
wall.
fast friends.
Yeah, yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm the good guy. I haven't done anything bad. But yet for some reason, everyone's saying that y'all are doing the bad shit. I haven't done shit. I'm
neither. I'm
innocent.
innocent.
Anyway,
Sana, you don't
so
say shit. You have blood on your hands.
so
Buffalo.
going back to
Priest.
uh going back to Artress, Sierra, Fee and Avery.
No, when she takes it and
Um,
hides, she's like, see, we can be friends. And then I was just gonna look at Artress and be like, well, hello again.
hello again, Doctor Sa. Hello again, Doctor.
Well, what
See
exactly
that you're still
happened?
well.
Yeah. I accidentally left one of them behind,
That's
but they were unconscious, and I really didn't want to wait until they were back to consciousness.
so you decided to fly all the way, all the way back to town by your lonesome. To what? To fetch help?
I'm not even quite sure. It just seemed like the logical thing to
Well,
do.
well, let me get a blanket out of my bag for the harpy girl, and uh we'll leave her with Avery. Wait, do I know Avery's name? I probably don't.
Yes,
I'll leave her
yes,
with the donkey. Oh, what they've told me.
yes. Avery was part of the drinking game. You bought him a drink.
Oh, did I?
You did.
Um, I think I tossed my only gold coin into a massive pile of gold coins. I'm not sure that's the same thing. and and Avery will take care of her while I go and rescue the poor fool still asleep in the woods.
The donkey will take
Lead
care
the
of her.
way, Doctor. Hmm?
The donkey will take care of her. I've never met Avery,
He's
so
a
I
mighty
am.
intelligent donkey. I you would not believe how clever he seems. He played part in a drinking game last night, and she
the
trusts him more than either of us.
the donkey was part of a drinking game.
Oh yeah, it was a
Yes.
lot of fun.
I'm assuming that's the donkey speaking.
That is Avery indeed. Yes.
She's gonna turn her eyes to the donkey and be like, "You can talk."
Oh yeah, I just didn't want to interrupt.
I've never met a talking donkey before.
Oh,
Damn,
small
she's that's
correction.
un.
I'm not a donkey.
I'm sorry, Avery, a dude.
Avery is a dude. Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry, sir, but you are most assuredly a donkey.
I would know myself better than anyone. And I am indeed not a donkey.
You look like a donkey.
Have you
Well,
identified me?
I would argue that the looks can be deceiving.
Okay,
I
so
want Avery to go off like a Karen right now. Are you identifying me?
all right, so the talking not donkey will take care of baby harpy. And we can
Fee. Her
go.
name is Fee.
Okay, Fee, and we can go rescue the ham one.
The ham one.
The
You
ham
got the
one.
ham one.
Oh my god!
Oh,
Title!
him.
That's his new title! The Ham One!
I've been having my concerns about him and his lump of meat. I
Um,
suspect that he was involved in this mess.
um, um,
Help!
Uh,
Dying.
that's Avery going,
Yes, Avery.
yes, Mr.
I, I,
Donkey.
I have a suggestion.
Wait, we
Well,
could put him on your back.
Yes! Also, I was thinking that, if our friend here has a blanket, you can just, uh, tie the blanket, like a sling, and I could perhaps drag him if he's too heavy to lift.
That would be more fun.
well, that sounds like a very good idea. It'll be fun seeing him smack into every rock and tree stump that we come across.
I mean, yeah.
I'm a very careful driver, sir. I
Yes,
haven't,
but this.
I haven't gotten a ticket
e-
once.
Either way, I guess we can all go back and save the ham one. I didn't really catch
Very
anyone's
well.
feelings, so.
Come along, Fee. Well, we're going to
Imagine Avery
find.
as soon as he said, I never got a ticket yet. He's looking at you guys and go, you see a boot on these legs?
We're going to find the poor conscious soul.
Okay.
Lead the way, Doctor.
All right, and she's just gonna turn around and walk back the direction that she came from. Oh, by the way, be careful. There might be some mushroom things on the on the road in our path.
Well, you know my people. We love our mushrooms.
Wait, are you a gnome? Or which
No,
one are you?
I'm a halfling.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. Okay, all these short.
There's only one gnome in this baby.
We're a crew of short stack.
Hence why we are called the Hammoning.
The
So,
We are the Hammonings and everyone's gonna catch these hams.
what?
so, while you guys are on your way back to N, let's jump back to, with Child 1, Zarok, and, the Moon Elf.
The moon elf.
I believe in y'all. I'll be here.
Is he the new the baby?
Let's go.
Well, Sano, you're in front. You're closest to the city right now.
Yes, but I don't know that.
Yes, so we have our new friend Gizzard.
Well, I mean, we
Um,
could skip to Sano if you want. I just figured we would try and get the other group that's further behind you to try and run into you.
Oh yeah, no, you're
Well,
fine.
I'm assuming if Sano
fine.
heard,
I'm
assuming if
just-
Sano heard Fee, Sano has the option to choose to go chase after her to see if maybe she was in danger.
You think I'm gonna care? She attacked me the first time I met her.
Oh yeah, Sano, can you take these rocks to my room?
I got you.
But you would but you would know she's a living lie detector. Would you be interested in using that for your own personal gain, considering what Sana wants to do?
Personally, um, I'll see how I feel when it gets to my turn.
Well, it would be easier to make you meet up with the other group if the answer to that was yes, because then you would be heading towards Fee, which means you would run into Zarok and Whiff and the moon person and the other child.
I shall see.
Okay.
I want to put your child through combat so that this child can earn its name.
that's not my child. That's my bros.
And he's not here right now. He went to go get his medicine. And what about Build-A-Bear now?
Built a bear workshop.
Build-A-Bear
They're
Workshop
doing
sounds
a they're doing a Pokemon collab soon. I'm very excited.
Oh,
Ooh.
I have a group key already.
Pokemon Build a Bear.
Yeah,
I
Build-A-Bear is
believe
gonna
it's
have
already out.
It's out already.
Yeah, because Sano has a Grookey.
the full 151.
Oh, I don't
No,
know about all of
no.
them. I know that there are some Pokemon ones out already.
Yeah, they're
No,
bringing
there's Pikachu, Umbreon, Eevee.
they're
Hey, I
bringing
just
back
wanna.
like all of their limited edition ones, and it turns into like all of the original 151 basically because it's Build-A-Bear's 25th anniversary or whatever.
Hey, all I need is a giant Ditto. Then I would have all 151.
Anyway,
Okay. I don't know. Okay.
Anyway,
uh,
so you want to get back to us?
yeah.
I'm with taking care of this now dried gizzard.
You could
I'm
just ask them their name.
well,
Right, I
like I said,
could kind of do that.
I'm
Hey,
assuming that.
I
Go
want to
ahead.
ask him his name now. Like, hey, you got a regular name? Like, if not, I'm gonna
Uh,
call you Gizzard.
I. Okay, so me knowing you, how I know you, you're not gonna call this a regular name. But his name is Thepperos.
Gizzard it is.
Wait, I'm sorry.
That's
Wait, hold on.
exactly the
Did you say
response I expected.
Sephiroth?
Thepperos, yes.
Sephiroth. Okay.
Sephiroth, yeah, like I'm sorry, but your name sounds like sepsis, and that sounds
Sephiroth.
that sounds like it's a very uncomfortable thing to like have to think about. But gizzards are delicious, so therefore I
Yeah.
will name you Gizzard.
Do you want to eat them?
I didn't ask you. I was talking in my own personal opinion. You don't get to have an opinion on gizzards. I love you, but you don't get to judge
Oh, it sounded
gizzards.
like
Eh.
Sephiroth.
Sephiroth. It does
Hmm.
sound like
Yeah,
Sephiroth.
I also noticed that too. It does sound very close to Sephiroth.
I believe it.
Sephiroth.
It's almost Sephiroth backwards.
Oh.
Who's gonna roast me for liking gizzards?
Oh my gosh, it
Allow me to
almost
eat my
is.
bottom feeder southern food.
Anyway,
You
he's
can call gizzards as disgusting as you want. I will eat my bottom feeding southern food, okay?
Hey, I'm with you all the way there, my brother. I'm with you all the way there. Gizzards are home food.
See,
anyway,
see,
his
see.
Yes.
Why is it
his name is Thepperos Thestrandin.
They strand.
Sepros Ithis Strandin? So your name is Sepsis and I'm stranded.
Ripperos.
Oh
Ips
goodness.
That's
is
cool.
Why do
Strandin.
I feel like you'd
Your
be a beautiful?
name is
Why do I feel like you'd be a
Gizzard
perfect
Stranded.
barbarian?
I'm sorry, it just sounds like you're now stranded gizzard. I'm
I
not gonna remember your name.
I do not have the energy to fight you.
Well, if you don't have the energy to fight me, that means I win. So let's go.
I don't think that's how that works.
Do you know the way back to town?
Oh my!
Do I know the way back to town? Well, you see, I was there in the town and then I just got blasted like 2 miles away because like there was some random wave of like teleportation. So I can
I'm
find my
gonna
way back though.
I'm gonna cast message to Wisp here or with here, and ask him is he to ask and see if he's looking for a queen.
Are you looking for a queen?
Queen? Queen? No. I'm escaped. Barely with my life at that.
How did you get so dry?
You can't just ask people why they're dry. I have been on the road for days, maybe weeks. Lost.
So what I'm hearing is I just need to dunk you in some ice cold water and you're going to fill out instead of looking like a raisin, you're going to be like a grape.
I I do not think we are on the same page.
Got it. Help you get to town, help you get a shower, so that you can be less wrinkly.
I'm gonna offer the kids some popcorn as I'm enjoying the show.
And I'm gonna pass them another ration because I'm like, here's some water. Like you're unpleasant to look at, and I would like to see what you look like instead of being dry.
That's fucked. Like, so,
Me and the kid are just gonna be like on the sideline enjoying some popcorn watching the show.
Jesus, that's like rough.
That's just so
Yeah,
depressing.
I thought Sana was bad.
Hey, you know, you're this escaped slave and all. You're probably starving, but I'm gonna feed you and then insult you.
Like I said, me and the kid are enjoying the show, some popcorn.
Kindness is not my strong suit. I will tell you what other people are thinking, and you are very unpleasant to the eyeballs.
You'll tell him what you're thinking.
For
All right, they
real?
mean it. They're just not going to tell you.
Well, then, if I'm so offensive to you, I'll gladly take these provisions you've provided me, and I will be on my way.
You need help getting to town. I'll at least help you get that far. I'm pretty sure you look better if you're not dry.
Oh, no, no, I insist, if my appearance offends you so.
Eh, it's called
Okay,
compromise.
I'll
You either want to,
step
do you want to
in.
stay in the heat? Do you want to stay in the heat and dry out and starve again, or do you want me to help you get there?
Zorak said he was gonna step in.
I'm just gonna walk
All
for it.
right.
Hey, Whiff, let me handle this very quickly. You, I f- I f-
Gizzard.
hey,
Pepperos.
Pepperos, Pepperos. Either you have two options. One, take, you can try to get to a town or whatever, or wherever you're trying to go. Maybe survive, maybe end up in the same situation again. Or B, you just follow us. We're gonna head to town. So either follow us or maybe try to find a way. We hope you the best of luck either way. With let's probably head going. I still got things to do and take care of and get before I head out. So let's go take care of some things. Hey kid, you coming? And I'm just gonna turn and start heading back toward town.
And he kind of jogs to catch up to you. The kid, that is.
Wait, you said he was an escaped slave?
Yes.
Oh, I know someone who's gonna love you.
Okay.
Referring
I'm.
to the party member who absolutely despised slavery.
Oh.
Owen? No.
Well, Owen did, but Foolproof hated it even more. Uh,
Bought into quotation slavery, which is just noblehood.
um, I think out of
Can I
everybody
just
that's here, I think
can I
probably
use
N would have
message?
the strongest opinion on slavery.
Yes, with you could technically use the message back at me since I casted it direct to you for once already.
Okay, I want to ask: is it wrong to sell him back?
Oh my god!
I want to step back a minute saying, depend on the price.
Oh no. You got the one guy with the merchant.
You have the soldier
Good
and the merchant
heavens.
collaborating.
You can sell a slave back into
Hey, look,
slavery.
it's the modern world order in a nutshell, microcosm.
See, there's a special place in hell for me. Anyway, but yeah, so hopefully we're gonna head back to town.
incoming
Depending on what you want to
incoming
do, we can.
transmission from Fievel.
Thank you. That's a beautiful message.
Okay, so you guys are heading back to town, which means Echo set a timer for 5 minutes. And then we're gonna jump to Sano.
Uh, the goat is back. Hello.
The
Yeah,
goat.
but definitely hearing.
We had a goat? I thought it was a donkey.
No, no, never mind. But yeah, I guess I'd hear the harpy scream, and I'd cover my ears and like have my tail down slightly, and like shake my head after not hearing it after like quite some time. And I'll just like sniff the air. Man, I didn't even get my food. I start crying slightly to myself, and I'll just like curl up in fetal position under a tree, and I'm gonna just like sit there.
Oh, okay.
Ross, get a swig of tea, man. I almost spit that out.
So when that timer goes off, the two groups will have met together.
I'm gonna
Uh,
just sit there crying slightly to myself,
is
and having
that
my unseen servant like fan me.
Yeah, can we just speed up the time and just us meet up when we see Sano crying?
is that all you're gonna do until the timer goes off?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna cry. And I have my
Okay.
unseen servant like fan me with like a leaf or something.
All right. Then I'm
Stop
gonna
looking at crying
I'm gonna
Sano.
jump to Artress and Sierra's group.
Sano the goat.
Artress and Sierra.
I was totally talking and forgot that I was muted.
Oh.
Anyways, so I guess we're still just on our way back to rescue N, who I totally wasn't just going to leave there. I was totally gonna send a rescue group for.
Hey, yo, can I roll an insight?
um
I'm smelling some big chop right there.
so Avery rolled a 12, and that's enough to drag him, but with some difficulty. So after you guys fashion sort of like I guess kind of like a cot with
Holy
some
shit,
sticks and
you're
the
telling me
blanket.
a donkey can't pull an average sized human? Holy shit.
Well, a donkey with a questionable amount of alcohol in his system, because donkeys metabolize it differently than humans and etc. do. And regardless of his stance on the matter, Avery is in fact a donkey for the time being. So
Oh, donkey can't pull a human. Oh, that's gonna be sad.
I finally caught up with them.
Yes.
yes, and you are mid fashioning of a cot with the blanket and some branches you find nearby for Avery to pull.
Wonderful. Do I have to roll for that?
Nope. Just gotta kind of act it out.
Okay. So, good heavens, I do not know much about crafting out of blankets and sticks, but let's see.
You literally just tie it
Um,
together. But while you're doing whatever you and Sierra decide
Wrap
on
it round
for
the
like
unconscious
splitting it up.
person, tie it round a stick. I just sort of. That doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound like the knot would hold.
So while you and Sierra are doing this, however you decide to split up doing this small task, Fee is going to pick up on what you guys discussed, and she's going to bring you branches. Entirely too many of them, some of them too small. um, some of them
Is that
she
a
has to
branch or a
drag
twig?
because they're so big. But she's going to bring you anything that she thinks is going to help, including handfuls of leaves.
Oh my god, I could just imagine that. I could hear the flapping of the wings, like the really hard flaps, and you hear like like a really like silentish thud. You look over and you just see her dragging like an actual trunk of a
Well, I
tree.
actually do have carpenter's tools, so I can make things out of them, and I have 2 hand axes on me as well.
And there you go. So you can process all the wood she's bringing you, but some of
And
it is useful, some of it is not. Some of it is literally just handfuls of leaves. A lizard crawled out of part of the pile she brought. And the two groups have met together. Echo, stop. So she's just bringing you, like, various assorted, like, limbs and things, whatever she can find and pick up or drag or move while you guys are doing this.
Okay.
Limbs, as in tree limbs or people limbs?
Freeland.
She is just a child. Let's try not to traumatize her more than she has been.
Does it really matter which limbs she brings?
You have
Well,
to
I can work
remember, even
with
if she
wood.
brought
I do not want to
even
have
if
to
she
strip
brought a
away the flesh to
branch,
get to the bone.
They're wooden limbs. They're wooden limbs. Whether they're prosthetics or not is up in the air, but they are wooden limbs, in fact.
Okay. Yeah. Cyrus is gonna busy yourself trying to fashion this thing with all the stuff and getting it attached to the not donkey. Avery, which I don't think I still have gotten the name of as Syra. So
Yeah, you didn't ask, and he didn't introduce himself. He's not very smart. He has his moments, but in general, he's
Um,
not very smart.
uh, I start fashioning like crude handles from the twigs that can be tied together and hoisted to both sides. Basically a harness
Okay.
to put around Avery's sides so to tie it to the blanket.
Okay. Yep. So Sierra's working on the
So
cot
while
part,
I'm
from what I gather, and you're working on the part that'll attach it to the donkey.
yeah.
yeah,
Okay, makes sense.
And then I guess we'll just roll him onto it, right?
Yep, that would probably be the easiest way. No,
yes.
no skill checks to see if you can roll a human, because I'm pretty sure, uh, I'm pretty sure you could probably just get Avery to kick him onto it.
This is true. But we're going to be
That
dragging him across.
sounds dangerous. Donkeys are very strong and
you know what?
it,
Let's not use the word kick. We'll use nudge.
Nudge, a
yeah,
forceful
I
nudge.
guess so.
Anyway, so he
Hear
he
a
gets
whack to the
he
head.
gets on the cot, and you guys end up on your way. And Echo, set a timer for 10 minutes. All
Is that
right.
when we'll meet Sano?
And yeah, since there is
So, out of curiosity, are we ever gonna find the other child?
Oh my god.
so
He's on the journey of self-discovery. Don't.
so
he's finally gonna talk. Sorry.
so here's how things went, right? So unlike the last time, I decided to streamline this a little bit. So you guys ended up all going the same direction, even though it says random differing directions. You guys basically all went the same direction, but at different points from each other based on the d6 that you rolled. So uh, N and Syrah ended up the furthest away. There's no one in between N, Syrah, and Fee, Artress, and Avery. But in between all of you guys that are left is the child that's missing. So as long as they either stay put or only walk in straight lines, you will find the child eventually.
So the question though is, do we?
I don't know. We haven't gotten there yet.
we might lose a kid.
Ed's gonna be pissed. He's gonna uproot the whole forest.
That's his own fault though.
Anyway, so yeah, so since there's not much else to do, since you guys are gonna be walking and talking, I'm gonna go back to the other group really quickly, since the timer went off and they should have met up with Sano.
Oh, I have tears in my eyes.
I need alcohol.
I think I did too. I honestly did too.
Oh god. Oh god. It hurts. Oh god.
Get it out, get it
Oh
out.
god. My ears are off.
Just gonna kind of walk over, like I'm assuming I won't have too much perception to hear this, right?
I'm sorry, Sam's acting.
assume I don't have to fucking roll proficiency for this. I'm gonna be following this. I'm gonna be following this noise as I'm gonna slowly
Ever since I met that guy, my life's been shit. Fuck.
I'm gonna kind of,
You look so familiar, but I don't know anything.
just casually walk over to Sano, just get next to him, and just.
No, I'm not gonna notice you, by the way.
Oh, I know. Just gonna kind of look at you for a bit and just. I found you.
It's coughing a little bit from crying too much.
I'm gonna kind of like get. I'm gonna kind of get down lower, so maybe like I'm eye level with you. Just kind of pull out a pouch of water. Just water.
I take it. I take a sip of it. Oh, thank you. I give it back to you, and then I scream because I don't know who you are yet. Because my eyes are very blurry from all the crying. Who are you? Movie, please. I'm just a child. Oh, hi. I like
You done
wipe
now?
my tears off my. Yeah, I'm good. Sorry,
All
just
right.
had a moment.
Well, let's go find your brother and my other grandkid. I got one of them.
Oh,
As I kind of point to the group. Just.
oh, hello, hi wave.
Oh yeah, we got a new one. Apparently, name's Hey, Smoke. Whiff. What was his name again?
Steparos.
Gizzard. Thank you. Yeah, Gizzard. His name is Gizzard.
Steparos.
Gizzard. Yeah. So
Oh my god,
Stranded gizzards.
Stranded
Strange.
Gizzard. Stranded Gizzard. So we're he's just gonna kind of follow us till we get to the town. We should probably find the others and see if they have the kid.
Oh, okay. Well, I think the best choice here. We need to get back to the inn so I can get my food.
Oh, you're hungry? Here, let's pull some.
No, no. I slowly put my hand out. I push it back to you and I look you in the eyes. I said, I want chicken soup.
Oh, you want chicken soup? Okay.
I want that chicken soup that man offered me. Goddammit.
Okay.
I got you a bowl as well.
Oh, thank you. Okay, then we better go back then. I want to try that chicken soup now. You make it sound good.
Of course,
All
of course. But wait, before you go, just give me like 5 more minutes, okay? I'll kind of like walk behind the tree.
Problem is, do
I'm gonna walk back to
we
the
know
group
which way the town is?
I stop after a while and I just like wipe the tears out of my eyes. I'm like, okay, let's go.
turn around. Just all right, guys. Let's head out. Maybe we get lucky and find the group. Maybe if not, then at least we'll find a road or something to get us back to the main area.
I don't think we're that far.
Oh, I hope we're not.
Here, let me see something. Uh, is there any rocks nearby?
I'm sure
Technically,
there.
one.
I'm sure there are lots of rocks nearby.
Can I just like throw one in a random direction and see where it
There's only
goes?
one rock nearby.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna pick up the rock, right?
Yeah, do it.
Okay. Strength check to pick him up.
Right, I'll follow. Knowing I don't know if I'm going to the right area, which I think I'm going in the right area.
Charge!
Literally, come on, Dad. And random other people and stranded gizzard. Onward, back to town. And I'll just keep sniffing the air to see if I can like catch a scent of any like food or anything from the town,
Well, you.
or even like familiar scents, like because I heard Fee not too long ago, so maybe if I can catch her scent, I can.
Well, you passed your perception check for that, so.
Yes, but you see, I need to do it again
Okay,
because I
I mean,
wasn't
if
paying
you.
attention to them.
If you
'Cause
want to roll again, I guess, but you passed your perception check to
I know
hear
I heard
feet.
her, but I want to know exactly where, like in exactly pinpoint direction.
You're a dog.
No, I'm a half dog. There's a difference here.
A dog would be able to pinpoint the sound.
Last time you didn't let me do that. Now you're saying I can
That's
do
a good
that?
point. It's true.
Will.
You confuse me, man. See,
Dogs is made for tracking.
yes, but you can't just assume that like I'll instantly know where they are. Like we're a couple miles apart from each other.
You know what? You know what? I'm not gonna tell you that you can't roll again whenever you want to roll, but like, just you already passed it. Like you got an 18.
That doesn't mean I know pinpoint accuracy of how far something is from me. That's
All
like
right, roll
illogical.
again, I guess.
No, I don't want to
Illogical.
roll. We're just gonna run straight.
Tracking a survival test,
We're
aren't
just gonna keep running straight forward.
Okay.
If we get lost, we get lost. If we don't get back to town, that's not my problem. I didn't. I didn't send
Hey.
us here.
Can Thyra just be like, you know what? I just want to see if I can see everyone else, and then fly up and see if she can see everyone else.
Yeah, we went the wrong way.
Yeah, and for that height, I'll give you
Aren't we
advantage
still
on
in
your
a
perception
forest?
check.
Oh,
Yes, you are in a forest, but there are roads
so
and
would they be
streams and
obscured
stuff.
by the tree canopy?
I'm sorry, you're gonna give me what for what?
Advantage if you fly up that high to be able to see where
Okay.
everyone is.
Well,
On perception?
I just assumed because of like the breed of owl, right? She's an owl, so she can see very far.
That's on perception, right?
Yes. And also, she's talking about flying up to see you guys. And
Yeah.
See if I can see where
Yeah.
you guys are. Yeah.
right, yeah. So because of the height, she would have advantage because she can see everything, wider range of things
How
she
about
can see.
a dirty 20?
Yeah, that works. Yeah, you can totally tell where everyone is, including the child that ended up by themselves.
Right. Are these other people? They're going the wrong way. So I can see them. Are they? Which way are they running?
They're actually headed towards the missing child.
Okay. So
Oh,
I'm
sure.
gonna. Yeah, I'm going to just like fly back down, land on the back of Avery, regardless of what he's gonna say about it, and I'd be
Echo,
like,
stop.
I think we
Wow.
need to continue.
So you did it
going
without
this way."
consent? Wow.
And that
They all
timer
seem to
was
be headed
supposed
towards this direction.
to be you guys meeting up with the missing child, so they're headed towards you, as far
Oh,
as you can see, and then you guys would have ended up with the missing child because now there's nothing in between the two groups because everyone is converged into two groups with the child in between them. So now you're headed the same
Oh my God,
direction.
we're gonna scare this child.
all right. All right. That did not understand. But like, we should be meeting up with a group of people if we keep going this way. So maybe then we can all make our way back to town, or I don't know. I think it's the rest of the Ham ones group.
What
I mean,
happened to the ham exactly when everyone was teleported?
The ham belongs to N. It's his weapon, so it goes with him.
Okay.
But he doesn't know it's his weapon. He just thinks it's a magical ham. I remember that. We got drunk and we were like, what happened? Love this group.
Like,
Yeah.
I think
So
I just see a group of people. I think it's the rest of the Ham ones group because I don't know their names yet, really. So I think if we just keep going this way, we'll all meet
The
up.
order of the pork.
The order. Well, yeah, but I don't know that.
Oh. Oh! Oh, do you? Well, I suppose we'd best go catch up with them then. Which one of them is closest?
Little kid.
Oh dear. I think
Yeah,
that's the
another
one that. I think that's the one that was struggling to learn healing magic. Not the bravest sort. Best hurry up. So,
Let's go,
can we roll an
Avery.
athletic check to arrive faster?
Are we
Sure,
all riding
but
the donkey?
you would have ended up running into the child by themselves in the middle of the forest.
So are we with the child?
Yeah, that timer that
Is that
just
what's
went off
going?
was you guys meeting up with the child, and then whenever you did your perception check from the air, you saw that the other group was also headed towards the child. So you ran
Okay.
into the child, and the other group is you're all
Okay.
converging.
All right. So we
Oh,
could just
oh,
meet them.
oh. Oh, sorry.
All right, I'm just gonna like look at the kid. Does this kid talk? I'm just gonna be like, "Hello." Yeah, I've never seen. Was this the one that was being carried, or was that the other one?
Hello there. Not that I'm aware. Does he talk?
This is the older child. They don't need to be carried.
Okay. I don't think I've met you. See, from the back of the donkey.
The child is very scared, obviously. Their face is like totally streaked with tears. They literally have streaks because they landed on their face. So they have a bloody nose, just a little bit. It looks like they've wiped most of it away, so their face is kind of messy, and then there's like streaks of like tears through dirt that's on their cheeks.
Okay, well then I am going to hop off the donkey and I'm gonna go over and be like, "Oh, it's okay, it's fine. We're here now. We're gonna take you back to the town. We'll find where you need to go here." And I'm just gonna like try to clean off the kid's face.
I offer him a wolf skin and ask, "Are you thirsty, lad?"
I love this is that N is not here to try to defend himself. Right now, his oldest kid is seeing him knocked out and being dragged by a donkey.
Well, he hasn't noticed him yet. All he can see is Avery in front of him. They're
Um,
forward facing, so he can't tell that N is on the cot behind the donkey yet.
I can't wait for him to see it though.
Um, so he lets Zero like clean up his face because like what else is he gonna do? He's a kid. He lets people take care of him because that's how old he is, and so he just kind of sniffles, just kind of like tries to pull it together.
But I don't know anything about this kid, so Syra is gonna ask, what their name is. Do you have a name?
He shakes his head.
You don't
Last
have a
I
name.
checked, that one, I gesture over my shoulder at and said he had to earn his name in battle. I
Well,
told him to just give him one when he was 13.
When he points over his shoulder, the kid does this exaggerated like look around so that he can like see what's behind Avery. He sees N, who is like basically his adopted father figure, like unconscious, kind of beaten up from being dragged on the road, and starts to
Poor
sob
my brother.
inconsolably all
no,
over again.
no, it's
The
fine. It's
man
fine. He's
who does
fine.
the
Okay,
thing is knocked the
just
fuck
when
out.
when everyone was teleported, he just was knocked unconscious. He's fine. He's fine. I'm
It
Seeing
sure
looks
he'll wake
like
up
he
here.
seeing a child of a similar age
fell
start to
so
cry
to the
is going
ground.
to get Fee going as well.
No, 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 no. This is fine. Everything's fine. just like hop around, like also starting to panic a little. Just never had to deal with kids before.
Teenage mom. Teenage mom.
Look, lad. N. Wait, do I know N's name? I think I would.
Yes,
Maybe.
yes, you would at least know his name.
Uh, N is all right. He's banged up a bit, but he's all right. You're all right. The Fee, the Harpy, and Avery are fine. They're completely unscathed. We just have to stay calm and walk back to town. I'll have a word with that idiot about ripping that card all willy nilly, but that will come later.
I don't know that
For
you would know that the card
now,
would would be the reason that this happened, though.
Hmm?
I don't know that you would know that the card would be the reason that this happened,
That's
though.
true. But I think I would correlate the card ripping with the sudden teleportation. I was in the room when it happened.
You you were, in fact, in the room when it happened.
But were you looking at me? I don't think so.
Which one of you was stupidly trying to pick up the bird?
See, that's the real question is yes, you were in the room. So yes, you were affected. But were you looking at
This is fun.
me?
I probably it depends what the placement of people. I mean, you said you made a big of looking while holding it up and ripping it.
Yeah, at Enendum. But if I remember correctly, everyone was mostly looking at Enendum when he was talking about certain things.
Well, anyway, I don't think it does us any use to argue whether or not someone is going to know that the card is what caused the magic teleportation to happen. So, we'll just go back to screaming children. Uh,
and
You know,
Syra, just
I
like,
like that idea.
everything's fine.
You know, I actually like that idea. Yeah, let's go back to screaming children. That's amazing.
yeah, so, Fee and the second child um, both stop at the same time so that they can take like deep breaths and then start even louder.
Will they be able to hear my scream from far away?
Maybe I can do perception checks for them. Whoa.
Onward with my Zarok battering ram.
Yeah, they both hear you.
They hear wee.
Essentially.
And yeah. So anyhow,
The children are now frightened because they think it's a monster.
Tyra's she's gonna sit down on the ground and be like, "This is why I've not had kids. Don't use no attributes."
I can just picture that she sits down on the ground. I quit.
I thought.
This is why I didn't marry. This is why I don't have kids. That's why I'm still single.
Owls matured quickly and didn't have to take care of their kids for long.
What was that? Sorry.
I thought owls matured quickly and they didn't have to take care of their kids.
I am an owlin.
Oh, what's that?
What?
It's home.
You've never heard of an owlin before?
Have you heard of a Leonin? It's kind of the same thing.
Can I get a Hydra snakelet?
Oh my gosh.
I want a tiny little Hydra in my hand.
No, but
I wanna be your
I do keep a record of my journeys since I left home, and I send them, and today I send them in letters back
You're cutting in and out hard,
I
buddy.
love
to
your
my,
Yeah.
to my
in
friends and
binary code.
family.
You're cutting out a little there. Sorry.
Whenever I
And's gonna get back home by the time the second goes.
every new town I come across that's part of our network. These past 2 days will be a right laugh for all the folks back in Bearsbrook.
Okay.
My sister will especially love the teleportation part, and Dumvor will love learning about all the new creatures I'm meeting. A donkey that says it's a person, that says it's a human, and an owlin. I'll have to make a note of that. He takes out his parchment and he starts to write. Is about his about the last 2 days.
I
Just
kind of want to narrate my life. Like, what the hell? That
It's
voice,
just
my
like,
dude. God.
Yes, well, I'm an owlin, and yes, I am a bird, but I am also not. That makes sense.
okay, Jots.
But
So he does a rough. Um, he does a very rough, probably not very realistic sketch of Syra. Marks Owlin says, like a bird, but not underneath it.
I mean, actually, I don't know much about owlins myself. I just like, I want to be a bird. You what?
That's as good a reason as any. I
Lyric has
decided that
returned
I wanted
asking
to be
doggos, but
an
Lyric also has
anarchist
a
hobbit, so here I am, making up a community over just the last few days. Like he's got a whole backstory and a whole not quite country he comes from.
Oh. But anyways, I guess lyric is Doug says Doug's settled. Have cake. Are you back then?
Yes, she's returned with a piece of cake.
Okay.
That is why you heard me earlier ask what kind. I was curious to what kind of cake she returned with.
You have friends and family back home.
Ooh. Still delicious.
But no crunchy. Oh, I like lemon cake.
All right, I
Okay.
gotta head out. All the dogs are raising hell since their mom just got back after being gone for a week. So I have like things to handle with that.
Okay.
Shall we pause session here for the day then and continue next week?
Well, I
Yes,
think we
that's
should at least get the groups met up.
Right up with an unconscious end behind a donkey.
Yeah, and like you have permission to just like puppet my character if necessary. You know, just shoot a couple
Well,
things that
I
don't
th-
need it for me, and you know he'll be perfectly fine.
I'm pretty sure we could just start next session of us meeting them.
Okay.
I
The
won't
majority
be
of
here
the.
next
probably be a
session. I
good
have army
idea.
shit next week.
Oh shit.
I've got army shit all next week, so I won't be here for any of them.
Yeah, so we should just meet them up now so that it's implied that
Yes.
he's with you guys.
Okay, then yes, let us just meet up now then.
Okay, the kids finally stop crying.
I'm assuming with them hearing Sano,
Yes, they hear
which
Asano.
I believe that hopefully would be enough for them to stop crying.
And I launch the rock towards the...
I go into diving position.
Yes, assemble.
And
Yeah,
I
no.
fly into into a
Oh
gorgeous
no.
flying cake.
No.
Oh no. On a one-day stop.
We got it too. We don't stop.
Nope.
We
At this
keep
point,
going.
The happening there.
Asking a lady.
Yes.
at this point, Cyrus just gonna she's just gonna lay down on the ground and cover her ears and be like,
Oh, it's the strange bird thing from before.
Hey, look, chicken soup.
Ooh, chicken
Excuse me?
soup. Yeah, I ordered some chicken soup before we kind of all got lost and stuff, but yeah, I want to go get it. Are you okay? What's up, where's the rock?
No, it's not that because it's like the way I did that was just stupid. Because before, it's just funny because when I first met Fee, we all had a really really different opinions from Foolproof. And now it's just like we meet another bird person. I state this. It's just like, huh. This seems familiar. This seems very familiar.
But it's okay. I think we're all here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I start counting everybody, making sure we have everybody. And I point to
1, 2,
myself.
3, 4.
Where am
Unless you
I?
had more children with you, I think that's everyone.
1, 2, 3, 4. How many people are in my store?
Oh
It's an
yeah,
extra person. Who's
yeah.
that?
Supposedly, uh, he was. He's dried up.
Oh yeah. The
I
new
think
guy.
you
Yeah.
mean
Or something.
dehydrated.
He looks like it.
Yeah. No, the new guy's gizzard stranded.
D- uh, yeah, Cyrus is gonna turn to the new one. I feel like, I'm sorry. What was your name?
Thepperos.
Pepperos, not Gizzard.
Hey, don't ask
Gross.
me. Ask the big guy there. He's the one who told me that's what his name was.
You're not a wizard, are you?
Pepperos?
Yes.
Is
No,
Pepperos a wizard?
no, I'm not.
Good, because that sounds like the sort of name a wizard might have.
That's mighty
He's a wizard,
presumptuous
Hattie.
of you. Fairly offensive, if I do say so myself.
If you don't mind me
No.
asking, what
I'm
No, you can't say yourself. No.
what exactly are you?
I'm a moon elf.
A moon elf. I've never met a moon elf before. This is exciting.
Oh, Forest Walker.
So wait, are you like rare?
Fairly uncommon.
Uncommon?
if you're not a
How?
wizard, I guess you're all right. I shall add Moon Elf to the list of interesting people that I've met.
So you're
Though
telling
I'm
me
curious to know what you might have said or done if I had said yes.
Why don't you say yes and find out?
I know what's wrong with wizards.
Yeah, wait, what is wrong
I
with
don't
wizards? I
know.
turned my head around.
Well,
what the fuck did you just say?
little enough.
My grandma
Little enough
was.
for the moment, I'm afraid. I may, in fact, I may just run screaming into the woods, but, uh, or I may have tried to stab you. I've had bad experiences with the last wizard I met.
Not me wanting to multi-class into a wizard now.
No, I don't. I don't. I
I don't
don't.
want to do it no more.
I don't have much hate for the arcane arts, but the people that put pour their lives into its study tend to get a big head and think they know what's best for everyone else. Think they
Well,
know what human progress is.
you do got that right. You do got a big head.
But not a wizard's head.
Yeah, because their heads are like so much bigger than ours. Because like they have like all that knowledge and stuff, you know.
And
Really,
those
most other knowledge is in the
big
book.
pointy those
That's very,
arms.
very typical. I mean, other people might wear big pointy hats.
The wizard I met was a very stereotypical wizard.
Ah, I see. I see. Well, I don't think we have any wizards in our party. I believe not, but I think we'll be all set. You'll be okay.
Not that I know
I
As I put
almost
away
what a
my
actually
wizard
did
book.
go
stereotypical
with
wizard
it.
is.
As I put away my wizard book.
As I put away mine, my my patron grimoire slowly slides back. Damn, crazy.
Damn,
Well,
that's crazy.
I think we all made it here alive, and we shall get some food and water. I don't know what happened, but I honestly, I I just want to leave.
Let's just get back to the
Yes,
town.
it's
Oh,
about
I just want to go
time we
back,
left
get my
this
cart.
cursed place.
Well,
wanna-
wait. Here's the thing, though. Before we even leave, we have to make sure, like, we, pay the inn guy and stuff like that. Make sure everything's paid off.
Yeah,
'Cause I
we'll
don't
do
want to.
that.
Pay for
We'll
your
do that, pay
chicken
our stuff, get our
soups.
food. Yeah, get our food, pay our stuff, get the cart, and we're done. We got our supplies. We got to stop for the night. Let's keep going to the next town. We're not even there yet.
Yeah, we still have to head over there. But do you think?
No
I don't
buts.
Okay, let's go. Hurry up. I'm like pondering in thought as I walk, thinking about the situation that we might go back into, and knowing that N is knocked out and he has the power of the ham. I don't know if it's the best idea to go back.
And that's where we'll end it for next session.
It's probably that blasted ham that caused this mess.
No, it wasn't the ham. Listen, I'm telling you, that unconscious boy right there, he didn't do nothing wrong. He just wanted to have breakfast with his kids. But no.
Maybe you're right.
You want to know what happened?
Who?
I think it's the wizard of the town, man. I think he put a spell on this place.
I think the wizard of the town's named Sephiroth.
Oh, it's this guy?
The curse on this place makes the doors whisper the word ham whenever they're opened. You can't tell me that it's not connected to the blasted ham.
I have to be honest. Wait. You think it might be connected to the blasted ham, but maybe it's just.
But you have
It's
to
not
understand,
even us or the ham.
The thing is, how are you sure that the teleporting is connected to the ham?
Wait, we teleported?
Or whatever it was that caused us to disappear and come out here.
Oh, that's what happened.
How do we know that that's connected to the ham? Because we're the ones who are following the ham. We've never had this.
Because that ham has in the past 24 hours unleashed chlorine gas and a massive explosion upon us.
Would you
wait,
know that
wait.
that's chlorine gas though?
And so everything else that the supposed gods and higher beings have done by wiping out civilizations and destroying other countries don't count the same thing?
You do got a point.
Usually, those things are not done to those that claim to be its adherents. Well, sometimes, but
that was perfect.
if your ham god is angry with you, I suspect you might be doing something wrong, and maybe you need to find a new god.
Now I'm going to be honest with you all. I'm a little I'm a little skeptical of this ham god.
Wait, who are you again?
A new believer.
I don't believe.
As am I in most cases, but
Well,
I'll
just be honest here. You weren't there during that banquet. What that ham did, what I saw, it would change my life forever.
And
Okay,
fee
I
shrieks.
have no idea
and it
what
is a
he's
piece of
talking
ham.
about.
I need con saves.
Con saves? Oh no, she's gonna scream. Oh god. Oh, I got a 13 again. God damn it.
Everyone.
Yo,
Why do I have to con save?
You know what sucks? This is gonna get Sano really upset. And something may happen. And it's gonna be not
Hey,
my
I rolled a
fault.
15. That's
Ooh,
a 17. Rolled a 17.
nice.
What? I'm proficiency in con saves.
No, I was referring to Archers. You guys rolled at the exact same second, but he got something useful. His last roll was not so useful.
It was really
I think we're gonna have to make heartbeat fried chicken soon.
So if he's gonna cry out and all of them are gonna be dropping to the floor, I'm just gonna walk over and pat Fee on the back.
Wait, let me get ready.
Yeah. One of the kids passes that save, but Avery and one of the children does not.
I'm assuming they're all gonna knock out.
This one knocked me out. I'll cry.
It's like, just kind of point blank.
I know
It's
what
the
to
older
do.
child that passes. So the younger child's
All your drums are now bleeding.
yeah, they it's like a frag grenade went off in the middle of you guys. If you did not pass your save, which so far only Zarok and Syrah have. Oh
So
wait, and
This
Artress.
would it be
So
safe to assume that everyone except us three would be having like constant ringing in the ear for the next couple hours?
yeah, probably. You basically get instantaneous tinnitus. But but also for a few seconds you're deaf. This terrifies um the one child that doesn't make the check, and they just like literally start hyperventilating.
I, well, I can't really help the child.
I'll help
I'm
him.
in,
I'll help him just like I just need to stop Fee from screaming again, and I'll go stop the child from hyperventilating.
so,
Oh,
Zarok, what do you
Fee
think
only let
about?
out one shriek. It was just one. It was like a like just an indicator sort of shriek.
Oh, okay. Well
It's
then,
not a
with that, I'm.
constant siren. Rah, rah,
Oh,
rah.
What do you
okay. Just
think
like,
of?
I thought it was like a constant siren. I was about to like about to
No, it's like
gag Fee.
you know, like in SpongeBob, for example, like how they do the foghorn over certain words.
No,
What the?
Yeah, like that, so that
I
they
never
like.
watched SpongeBob, so.
Okay, well, so they imply that they swear, but they put a foghorn, like a boat sound,
Uh,
over the
so
swearing,
basically,
instead of
that.
that obnoxious beep like every other show. That's basically what she did. As soon as Sano started lying about the ham, she just made a really loud sound.
Wasn't lying about the ham.
Whether you believe it or not, it is in fact a lie. The ham did not do
No,
everything you're claiming that the ham did.
but it did though.
But it didn't.
To my knowledge.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Hey,
so
I
Can I use a reaction on the screamy thing?
Should gag it.
I mean, I guess.
It's the second time she did this to me. I think she needs to learn discipline.
Third, technically.
Third, yeah.
Oh,
So roll me a dex save of 14.
Well, then if he's gonna stop real quick, then I'm just gonna go over to the kid and basically grab the attention and try to calm him down. Have him look at me.
at least he's not crying. At least he's not crying. He's just hyperventilating.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so I stopped him from hyperventilating by making him focus on me so that he doesn't go into shock and go and black out.
Point at her, and she
The
takes
kid.
14 fire damage. And say, stop that.
You know she has like 1 health, right?
Oh, well, I guess she's dead. Because I wasn't gonna
No.
take disrespect like that again. No reason for her
Can
to
I
scream at
roll
me.
to prevent him from doing harm to the small harpy?
Well, it was a reaction, so I mean,
Can I use my reaction?
you know, I
Chain
don't
reaction.
actually know if you can react to a reaction.
I don't know.
Are we gonna start pulling out some Yu-Gi-Oh rules?
No, if you're doing it by like the actual the reaction, I believe if you have a reaction to react, you have to hold that action prior. So, I think that's how it goes, right, Jay? If you wanted to do an action like as a reaction, you hold that
that's for-
action.
That would be for combat. For most.
Oh, just
other
combat,
things-
right?
Yeah, for most of your themes, depending on what you are trying to do, it will usually tell you. So if it can be used as a reaction, they'll more likely tell you it's a reaction type thing, which you can also do. If you want to hold an action as a reaction, you have to state what you're trying to hold more like precisely. So if say I want to hold my action, yes, you state that, but you also need to understand that when you state that, you have to have a certain type of goal in mind for holding that action.
Gotcha.
If I want to hold my spell, I have to say I'm holding my spell
Yeah.
when this opponent, not any opponent, this certain opponent does this certain movement, I will then release.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, so that's mostly what reactions stated.
I didn't know she had 1 health, but
So you're just gonna let it stand with like the hellish rebuke to her? Is she actually dead or just unconscious?
I have
don't
no
know.
clue.
Um,
That is
I don't
all
know.
upon DM's
That's
choosing.
DM there.
I know. That's what I'm asking.
Oh.
well,
I would not want to. I will not let it stand. I think I prefer not to, because it will be hard to keep my character on board with a child murderer.
I'm not a
say is-
child
so
murderer.
all
so
gotta
I
say,
was
I technically adopted it with 2 other people, so I kind of have to watch out for it.
So I was slightly exaggerating when I said she has like 1 health, but I have made
Okay.
it well known several times that she doesn't have very much health at all.
Yeah,
Um,
she is a child.
yeah, she has like 5 health, like in reality, instead of literally 1.
She
But
survives with 1 health.
regardless, um, that you did a lot of damage all at once. So I mean, I don't know. I don't want to consider Fee dead because that seems a little bit too harsh. But
Unconscious then.
You know, I was doing it like non-lethal. No one heard me say that. Like I was doing it as a discipline lesson. Like don't do that.
And for some
well,
reason
yeah,
you use fire.
but
Well, yeah, that's my only
Well,
I
reaction.
mean,
let's be
even with
honest.
the intent, even with the intent of not killing her.
You hurt a baby.
The most, the most,
And she shouldn't
the
be friends
most
then in this world.
Spare the rod, spoil the child. Traditional conservative.
I am not
parents
like
would
I'm
not.
sorry.
Well,
I'm not
some
like
abusive
any of
parents
I'm
would,
not
I'm
like
sure.
any of these other parents here. I don't have kids. I have no connection to any of these people.
Yeah, but you don't have to go and kill a kid.
I didn't kill her. I did it. I just said I stated I disciplined her with a quick fire poke.
By setting her on fire.
Yeah. Now she'll know.
I
She'll
want
mess
to
with
know.
me.
I want to know the state of the harpy kid.
Hold on. We could decide this when the stream's off. Turn off the stream. We're done with the session. Turn off
That
the
sounds
stream.
horrible.
Well, I mean,
No.
so I have
I'm
so
gonna know
I have two responses to this. First of all, Critical Role can get away with literally stabbing an infant on stream. So I think we can talk about
I
whether or
know,
not this
right?
child is.
They've done
I-
it to a baby chimera.
Talented as Mercer and his many
I
voices.
I think we can talk about whether or not a child that was just attacked is alive or not. And
Sam Riegel
I mean,
killed the giant manticore. Technically, I don't think it has much room to say that he can't do that.
so I'm kind of on the fence about it because on one end, if we take it rules as written, that's more than double her health, right? Like what she has. It's 4 points over. She should be dead, right? If it's rules as written. But also, I mean, that feels really harsh. She's just a kid.
Your point?
Regardless of how you feel about it, obviously you're biased. You killed her, maybe.
I'm sorry. You shouldn't make her like screech at me for.
I'm not
what
saying
is your call?
I'm not saying that like it's wrong for you to act out your character. I'm just saying obviously there's a little bit of bias there. That's all. I'm just stating facts.
I don't think it's
Don't
biased
kill children
whatsoever.
for
Let's make this
I don't know.
easy for
I'll
all
say-
of us. Yeah, DM,
You do what you
may
want at
call-
the end of
And
the
just-
day. I don't really
DM,
care.
And just
You
say
may
she's
call DM,
unconscious
we'll go
because
with it.
I don't
We'll
want to
go
kill a
with it.
child.
Okay, well in that case, yeah, Syra's gonna walk over to her and first of all she's gonna look at who did that, Sano?
Yep.
Yeah.
And Sano, I'm like, you're a really bad person.
Never said I was nice.
We're going to have issues, and then I'm also going to cast Cure Wounds on Fee.
I also have like unspare the dying. You know, I can just like make sure.
I respond by just straight up taking out my bow and shooting a banishing arrow at him.
Yay, death.
No, not
Oh,
death.
great. Now
Banishing
y'all
arrow
now y'all doing team combat. Oh, great.
just displaces him to like
It's okay, Nick. I'm used to this.
a part of the Feywild for a turn, so that he can't do any more harm.
Anyways, 6 back to the kid. I guess half her health or whatever. No, more than half. She's back to full health. She only has 5, right?
I believe she had, yes, what was that? 5 health, so yeah, she would be over full.
Anyway, I'm back. I'm sorry. I was interrupted in real life.
You are absolutely fine.
Yep, you're fine.
Syra wishes or cast Cure Wounds on Feed and heal over 6, which I believe is over her full.
Okay.
And Arctress wishes to shoot Sana with a banishing arrow.
Yeah, I don't really want to encourage PvP right now. We just
Because
got.
it's like not, to the best of my knowledge, lethal usually, and it.
Well, depends on your shot right now, because
How close are we?
Huh?
How close is he from me?
I do not know. How close are they there?
I don't know. I mean, you guys just met up, so.
I'd assume we're just like right in like in a
Right, so the
circle.
question
I'd
is,
assume we'd be in a circle or something, right?
that just depends then if
Like
if Derek
10,
wants to give it
15.
advantage or disadvantage.
Oh, wait, no. I need to check if I even have the banishing arrow. I think I chose it, but I might
and
not.
you're back. Welcome back. Welcome back to the legit end. We've all finished.
So, so.
Ugh, never mind. I only have grasping arrow and piercing arrow. I guess I shoot the grasping arrow at his foot.
Well,
It would depend on your to hit, I guess, if Derek wants to allow this.
And also, I really don't want to encourage fighting in the group. Like, we just got past a situation where, like, someone was constantly trying to attack other people. Like, can we not, please?
Oh, okay then.
There are other ways
But,
to be
like,
mad at him without attacking him.
True.
Yeah, but how else do you react to someone setting a child on fire?
Well, you could smack him. You could knock him to the ground. Other things that aren't
Sure,
necessarily
I guess
PvP, but are like
I run
roleplay
at him
actions.
and I grapple him.
I
Which
would
is
like to peck his ankles, please.
Effectively what I would be doing with the arrow. I'm trying to prevent him from doing any further harm.
The thing is, like, I think the point is right now, though, whatever they try to do, it would be of some sort of aggression towards a possible teammate right now, which is basically a act of aggression.
Well, I mean, so
either way, I said my piece. I told him he was a bad person, and then I killed.
aggression. Aggression. I don't think is not. I don't think it's an incorrect response to this. Like, hurting a child is a very shocking thing. I don't think that it's outlandish to react with aggression.
Was it one of my children?
Nope.
No,
It's
okay
it's
then.
Fee. It's the hardened child.
It could have been one of your kids.
But I don't think.
Well, if it was, then it's a problem because I'm raising them to be warriors.
But I don't think that like slapping someone or like shoving them or something should be considered like PvP. Like that.
Yeah.
In some situations, that wouldn't cause damage. You know what I mean? Like, it might hurt your pride or whatever, and technically you could argue psychic damage, but at that point you're just nitpicking, I think. And
no, that's very true.
compared to shooting an arrow at him, which is obvious intent to hurt him, those are two completely different stories. So I would consider, like, I mean, so Fee's an NPC though. So, like, the same argument between, like, players fighting each other and players fighting NPCs doesn't really apply, because NPCs are not considered part of the group at the end of the day. At the end of the day, if you guys were faced with, like, say, a dragon, and the dragon said, give me one of you so that the rest of you can live, you're probably going to give up an NPC before any of you give up a party member. Let's be real. No matter how attached you are.
Hi, children.
No matter how attached you are, you are going to give up an NPC before you give up a party member.
Logic of the party can only go, yeah, that's true.
I'll be honest, it's probably going to be the older one. The older one's going to get fucked up. He's the older one.
The dad's willing to say he's going to give his kid. Come on now, y'all can't say that.
So regardless.
This is me saying I'm going to give them up to save N. There's a difference.
I mean, those rules don't really apply between players and NPCs.
I'll dial it down to tackling him to the ground. Am I allowed to do that? Is that okay?
Yes, that is acceptable.
Very well. I tackle him to the ground and say, "What in the blazes are you doing?"
Can you please get off me?
Not until you promise you will not lay another finger on that child.
I'd like to discuss this with you, not on top of me, please.
No. Promise.
I feel like we have some chemistry here, but this is not the way to go upon it.
The only chemistry you'll be getting is your blood mixing with your spittle when I break your jaw.
Oh, so you're playing hard to get. I like you.
You just set a child on fire.
I like look at him. I like look to my left, and then like look to my right. And I just look at him. I don't say nothing in retort. I just look at him.
And you guarantee it will not happen again.
You're not like my boss or anything, or my father. So you can't really tell me what to do.
I'm not asking as your boss. I'm asking
Maybe ask nicer.
as
You don't deserve to
man
be asked nice.
that
You attacked a kid. You
doesn't want any more harm to befall children this night.
So why are the children here anyway?
You're
Why did we have a children in
ones
like the party anyway? If you think
brought
about
them
it,
here. You tell me why you brought them here.
I'm not. I don't even know. I don't even talk to that thing. To be honest, it attacked me almost like 3 times so far.
That doesn't give you the right to attack it. It is a kid.
Willing
Okay.
to care for them.
I guess
Why would
everybody has
anyone
different morals here.
travel with people if they're going to set them on fire at the first sign of stress?
Why would people like travel with something that's always gonna cause them pain and problems?
Okay, well,
Have you ever
first
thought
of
about
all,
that?
first of all, we weren't traveling with.
Okay, so can we just stop this line of questioning because you're
Then
getting
you can simply
close
just
to
get off of
real
me then.
ableist stuff. And no, I'm saying this out loud. This is really.
I'm
It
just
sounds
playing
like a
Tano,
really
man.
horrible thing about autistic children. I am autistic, and I do not like to experience
I know
this
session's
sort of
over
thing
and I gotta go, so I'll catch y'all later. I'll see you guys
in
next
my
session. Before we continue
fantasy.
this.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Peace
I'm
out.
not a big fan of hurting kids either. Out of character. So,
Okay.
Right,
Noted
I'll
for future use.
see you next
Okay.
Friday.
So I'll see you next Friday then.
Yeah. I think we probably should end here.
Yeah, already. Cool.